Oops. Hello everyone, and welcome to another. Oh, great! Someone dropped off. That's Chris. Okay. Let me fix my camera again. Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to another session of Roll for Damage, where a group of us geeky friends decided to get together and god damn it, and showcase our storytelling through Dungeons and Dragons for all of the interwebs. Uh, it's the internet. Yeah, technical difficulties. Um, yeah, we don't have any announcements tonight. We do have our lovely barbarian Wrena, played by Casper, back this evening, so um, that is nice. And we'll see what other shenanigans this group gets into. But I think with that, let's just jump in to tonight's session of Roll for Damage.
A door opens, adventure awaits your creation. Each person plays their part, abilities to lay the foundation, setting the stage for everything to start. Classes, they help define a role, and skill choices are what finalize the build in session zero. Integrates the character and begins a new destiny to be fulfilled. This is your moment to capture. Your fate is hinged on a bet. Release the dice and charge forward. This game is not a game, tonight you'll play your life. The table is set. This is your moment. Take control. It's critical. The final curtain is rising. The world's forever changed. A story made for the ages. All the lost experience and friends for every table. It's the future laid out before you. One you will never forget. This group of friends that support you. Come on, answer the call. Don't freeze until the table is set.
Oh man. Okay. Let me get some music going. Get us into the mood.
Gosh, I don't know
Okay.
what to do with you guys.
All right. So, last we left off, the group had finished their business in Sunshield City and left the investigation of what happened at the Valley of Light and Sun, the HQ for the Sunglades, to Aaron, um, uh, Luxaturna, and the city's resources, in hopes that they would be able to contain the problem and um, come back with some information or understanding of what needed to be done, if anything, um, and what exactly all of that meant. The group traveled quickly to River through teleportation that Orianna had access to from her parents' estate, and um, headed out on the town to start to investigate where the strings of destiny might reside. The group split up a little bit to see if they could track down different leads, with Navari managing to make contact with an interesting network within the city that is part of the more nefarious or underground um, groups, and asking them to look into the artifact, and the others eventually all convening at the library, where they managed to learn about the strings of destiny, what they were, and who had wielded them, as well as some information about other artifacts pertaining to other gods. In a moment of being bored, Navari and Zavrin went to see about the restricted section and decided in the middle of an open library to attempt to break into the restricted section so that they could get what they needed, because time is of the essence. And unfortunately tripped alarms leading to their arrest and subsequent internment in a holding cell in the central city guard station. With the rest of the group heading to look into the rending to see if they could potentially find some more underground information there, with a bit of communication with one another. Navari and Zavrin confessed to try and quicken their ability to exit the jail, and ended up requiring Orianna to come pick them up, as they were fined quite heftily and have to perform community service. While Orianna had made plans with Cade to meet in the evening to see if she could also use him as a resource to potentially find any more information out about the strings of destiny, but now also likely looking to him for help with what has happened to her companions. And Wrena and Nemeron are continuing to head towards where Marin works, to check up and see if there is anything lucrative to be found there. So, we pick up with Wrena and Nemeron. You are actually heading. So you've been in this direction before, when you were originally here in the city, initially looking into Wrena's friends and family, when you first infiltrated the rending, and you are actually heading towards the prison. The rending being in an area hidden under the prison grounds, and somehow connected, but you are making your way there. And as you are heading to where you need to go to, Wrena, I need you to make a perception check. Do you have advantage?
Probably not.
Okay.
I don't know why it automatically did that with advantage.
Okay.
Because I don't have that if I'm not raging, right?
I don't even know if you have it when you're raging. Perception, advantage on perception checks. I'm just asking because I wasn't
What am I thinking of then?
sure if you have advantage on like athletics and strength checks when you're raging.
I think I just had it clicked since the last time I was in.
Okay. All right, with a 3, as you're stepping up towards where you kind of know where you remember the entrance to be, you begin to head towards the Blackstone Keep, and then are about to turn off to the side. But you do notice a very pristine and expensive looking vehicle parked outside the gates. You see a couple of people sort of standing around it, looking to be guarding it, in armor and sort of black clothing. They don't seem to have any of the regalia of military or city guard or anything like that. So you get the sense that they're some kind of like private entourage, but you can see them kind of like waiting around this area as if guarding and waiting for someone to come out so that they can continue on with whatever business it is. But that is what you notice. And as you turn sort of down the alleyway to head towards the entrance that you remember, go ahead and I'll let both Nemeron and Wrena make an investigation check for me.
Okay. Where is it? Hold on, sorry. Investigation. 18.
Okay. With an 18, you eventually make it to this entrance, not into the prison, but off to like a building sort of neighboring it, that you remember you would enter, and you knock on it, waiting for a response. You don't get anything.
Are you sure this is the place? Did we miss a turn, Wrena?
I don't know. I've only been here like one time before.
Okay, that's fair.
He's vague.
Is there like how do I ask this? Is there like signs of like the door being replaced or like having anything moved nearby? Any disturbance on the ground, I guess?
With that investigation, you don't see like the door hasn't been moved. Like there's clearly a door in front of you. I mean, it's hard to tell if it's like the exact same door, but it's
that's right, that's
like
right.
There's nothing weird about the door. Like it doesn't feel like illusory or anything like that. But with that, you get the sense that given the nature of something like the rending, maybe it doesn't. The entrance doesn't stay
in one place,
static all the time. This building maybe like obviously they can't just like magically make like new holes appear in other places of the city. You know there's an entrance within here.
That's fair.
But you get the sense that they don't keep this, like they probably have other ones as well, and they don't keep the same one running all the time. So that might be the case, and you're not sure where the other ones are. The other sense is that you get is maybe like you also notice this this vehicle outside. Maybe whoever is around right now is preventing any stuff from happening.
Business.
Maybe you're not sure, but you haven't seen that before, and even you could tell, and you have a pretty high passive, like that's like a VIP of some sort. Like that is not treatment that a normal person
would get.
Gets.
Okay.
Could be like a high military commander, could be someone from the Triumvirate, could be something else, you're not really sure. But no one is responding to your knocks on this door right now.
Okay. I mean, you want to double down on crime and break in?
What do you mean double down on crime?
Yeah.
No.
I know. It was a joke. I'm sorry.
He's not funny.
These glasses really hurt my head. I'm sorry. Like just, anyways.
Can I like look around and see? Do I see anybody around that looks even vaguely familiar from the last time I was here?
I will say, like, you don't even need to perception check. Like, this area is completely empty.
It is empty.
You'd have to.
There's no
like,
one
this
standing guard,
alley
right?
is like empty. You don't see anyone kind of hanging around here. The most you see is a couple of like mice flitting
Can
off.
I stick my ear to the door and see if I hear anything?
Sure, yeah. Make a perception check.
While she's doing that, is there like any other doors or windows into the building? Like on this side of the building that we're on, at least.
On this side of the building, no.
Okay.
But probably around the other side, there might be. And with an 8, like, hard to hear anything happening inside when you kind of like hear just general city noise going on around, and you are like right next to the prison yard, and you can hear some like just general like noises coming off from the walls and stuff like that.
Is there a door handle?
Yeah, there's a door handle. Yeah,
Can I try it? Is it locked?
yeah, it is.
She's just gonna kind of like frown and just look at Nemron and be like,
Hey,
"Do you
there's
think
three.
it's
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no? I just saying, do you think it's just not open right now, or what's going on? It
I
was
mean-
easy to come in last time.
Well, to be fair, there wasn't a giant diamond on the middle of the road. You know, that fancy car or that fancy vehicle. That's probably why they're not
What?
working.
What? Do you think there's someone visiting?
Either visiting or.
Or someone is trying to enter someone into the vending?
If there was entering, if they were like going to put them in the rending, I don't think they would have full-on bodyguards.
They might.
They might.
It depends. If he's someone who has a lot of
Oh, that's
money
fair.
and they have a specific fighter that they back, they
Okay,
could
that's
very
fair.
well have guards and people to protect their fighter and themselves, to protect their investments.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, there's 3 other sides. We can maybe walk around and check to see if there's any other doors.
Yeah, this
that we're not-
alleyway ends,
Oh,
so you'd have to go out like back the way that you came. But yes, you could definitely go around the other sides of the building.
okay.
It's quiet back here. I could potentially have a way to look inside,
Okay.
but I don't know if I could get in trouble. It's not quite the same as Sunshield City, where they don't like the magics, but I could try it.
I mean, you're not doing anything. It's your ancestors. So there's a loophole there.
That's true.
Yeah.
It'll take me some time to do it, though. It's not like it just happens. It'll
That's
take me
okay.
it'll take me like 10 minutes to do, and I don't know if we want to stand here at the door for that long.
I mean, I can keep an eye out. Maybe.
That's some Navari logic right there.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Well, okay, we know what the worst that can happen is.
'Cause I've been in here before, right?
You've been into this is how you got, like, you originally when you came in here, you had looked around the city for information and had been told if you want to participate in the bets that happen within the rending, you come here, you give a password, and you are allowed inside, and then you were taken through this building, down some stairs, down some further stairs, and then through to the area where you eventually ended up participating in it. But
Okay, well, maybe we shouldn't do this, because I mean, the last thing we need is like more than half of us in jail.
Okay, that's fair.
So let's look around first. Let's just try to go around and look at
Do it the normal
everything.
person way.
And yeah, let's try not to do the breaking and the entering,
Technically, though.
because I mean, Orianna was already very angry about the money, and I told her that it's just money, but I don't think she'd be happy if we had 2 more people that would cost her money.
also make an intelligence check, just both of you.
Oh no. I immediately got nervous.
Just a basic
General.
intelligence.
Yeah, just a general intelligence. Natural 20.
20.
Very
I don't
nice.
wait. No. I made it.
Impressive.
I don't know. I don't know. I
It
made
doesn't
it with
matter. That's
advantage.
that's the first roll though.
Oh,
So
okay.
I would have just
Oh,
and a natural one. Okay.
the duality of
So-
I
man.
can't roll over a 10.
Yeah, get
Uh,
all
What
the
is
bad ones
going
out.
on? I
Um,
think
I mean, Wrena, yeah, you definitely are like, we have two people who just had to be taken out for breaking and entering and don't really want to break and enter and get caught by the police and or the city guard and be, put in jail, especially with the prison
yeah,
like
we're going
right,
to have
right
to
next
change
door.
our-
Nemeron,
Oh.
well, this is an illegal fighting pit. You get the sense that you wouldn't be arrested, you'd probably just be killed.
Oh, that's fair.
We could be the 6 criminals.
Ooh, I like that one.
You get the sense that, and you do remember when you went through this area, it is well guarded by whatever organization kind of
Handles the thing.
handles this. So like breaking in, possible, but you'd better have a good story if you get caught, because they're less likely to ask questions and put cuffs on you, and more likely to slit your throat.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, do the people guarding that car or the vehicle, do they look the same as? Oh, you said do they look the same as the ones who guard the rending or the place where it takes
They
place?
just, what I'm saying is that they didn't look like, they weren't like military or
No affiliation.
city guard. They look like they're special hired guard, similar to slightly different from what you've seen at Orianna's estate, because hers are also private, but hers are also kind of sanctioned by the military because of her father. So she's kind of got like a half and half at her place. But this is definitely like private money. Like it is these people are hired to specifically guard someone's well-being or whatever they own, and they are not affiliated with like a trill in terms of like the city or the military itself. So you're not sure like who this could be, because you would get the sense like if it's a high military commander, they're probably going to have like military guard. If it's the triumvirate, maybe they have private guard if they're just like out, but also like they're very like, that's the president of the United States. They should probably have Secret Service and like, they like, their guard. So it just seems like it's probably not. It's probably someone else pretty important, but using
but that's
own,
loaded.
Yeah, but using their own like could be like another government official, like a magister, a diplomat. Like you're really not sure, but just probably someone very important that has enough funds to still make sure that they are well looked after.
Okay. And maybe we shouldn't break in because these people go in and don't come back. So maybe let's just walk around.
I think they can try, but yeah, I think it's a good idea to err on side of caution, at least for this. I don't want to cause trouble for Marin.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I mean, then I'll just start walking towards the outside of the alley.
All right, yeah. So you walk sort of back, and go ahead, both of you, and make another perception check.
Perception. Okay.
Better roll over 10 this time. Right?
Oh no.
Throwing those dice out.
Wrena with advantage.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's go, baby.
So
Let's
go ahead
go.
and roll again.
I'll wait for this one.
Okay, with 16.
Okay.
Okay, so Nemeron, you as you're walking out, you just see the tail end of as a gentleman with sort of salt and pepper hair, well-trimmed beard, begins to get into the vehicle, and the door is closing. This gentleman does wear regalia of the city, but not of like a guard and not of military, a uniform that you've not seen before. Can
I commit it to memory? Like, can I commit what it looks like to memory?
Yeah, I mean, as best as you can, you can try to like commit it to memory for now. We'll see like how long that lasts, depending on when you use that information.
that's
and
fair.
how you remember it, but yeah, you definitely notice it's like different than what you've seen.
Okay.
Wrena, that's Cal.
Called it.
The head of Blackstone Keep prison.
And he has guards around him, right?
He has a lot of guards that most get into the, like, there are probably 4 or 5 that get into the vehicle. And think of like a limo. Like, this is a long vehicle. He has a driver, he has guards, and then you see behind 2 more vehicles with more guards that also get in and begin peeling away from the prison, driving off down the
I'm
street.
gonna try to chase him and
Okay.
try to see if I can maybe, if they're too fast for me to chase them on foot at a full sprint, I want to see if I can catch up with the last one and see if I can jump on the back of it.
Okay. So they're starting to like peel out. Go ahead and make an athletics.
I can't guide her because I don't know if she's doing this, huh?
No, this is happening
Okay.
like as
Okay.
fast as possible. So like your attempt to like, you're like, whoa, wait, and you don't even.
Okay.
With a 21, you are like running off, and just as you like get towards the vehicle as it's like peeling out, you lock eyes with Cal as he looks at you and sees you, gives you a smile, and turns away as the vehicle just peels away. You attempt to grab on. It's a vehicle moving quite quickly. You're not going to get anywhere to purchase on this vehicle. It's not like a train where you have like handlebars or anything like that. You try to like grab the side of one of the vehicles, but your like hand slides off, and these are moving very quickly, and you know that if you attempt to try to get in front of one of these, it's going to go very poorly for you. So you end up kind of getting sort of, and once the next vehicle comes in, as you like are attempting, so you try to get like a handle on that limo-esque vehicle, the next vehicle kind of like bashes you into the side, and you kind of like go sliding back a little bit, off to the side, not hurt or injured, but basically being given sort of a warning of back off.
Can I
we
see
don't know who
into
you are.
them at all, like into any of the vehicles? Can I just do a like quick scan to see if I see Connie there, or anyone that looks like him, or anything?
I'll say with the 21 athletics, you were able to get up to that initial vehicle. Go ahead and make a perception for me. A 15. The windows are pretty tinted. It is hard to see. It's just because you were so close to the side of the vehicle that you were able, and you knew, like, you had already seen Cal like sit down in it and drive off, that you were able to sort of like see his face. You did see other people in the vehicle, like you saw shadows of them. You weren't able to get a good look at their features or who they were. You know that some of them were those guards because you saw them also get inside, but you're not sure if Connie was already within the vehicle or if he is to be found somewhere else.
Okay.
But they drive off, and quickly enough,
Out
they're
of
gonna be
sight.
out of
They're
sight.
too far.
All right. All right. I'm
Okay.
gonna run back as quickly as I possibly can, and I'm going to just kick that door in.
Okay.
I just want to see if I can just kick it in and see if there's anything or anybody inside.
Okay. You run back to the alleyway,
Mhm.
and you go
Or
to
break
kick.
the lock or something.
Yeah, you go to kick in the door. Go ahead and give me an athletics.
Can I help her out with that? I try to like
Uh,
help her bash into it.
Yeah, sure. If you want to give her advantage, so go ahead and take advantage.
You can take advantage on that.
Oh,
You're stronger than me.
Okay, so just one more.
Yeah.
Sway the door using strength.
All right, with a 22, you bash into it once, and then with both of your weight, you bash into it a second time, and the door slams open. The interior is empty. It is a cluttered sort of like storage area. You just see like boxes and shelves all over the place. So there's nothing in and no one in here at the moment.
Okay, so I don't see anybody. I don't hear anything. It's just an empty room,
Right now, yeah.
essentially full of stuff.
Mhm.
All right. I'm just pissed off, so I'm just gonna slam the door back closed and stomp back out to Nemrin.
Okay.
What's inside? Is there anyone in there?
No,
Do you want to look in? Do you want to keep looking in there?
there's no one in there. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. And I just take off. I just follow her as soon as she takes off.
You are going where?
Last we heard, Orianna was still at the prison, right?
Jail? The county
Or-
guard?
Yeah, the
Yes.
county guard. Yeah.
Yeah. That was where she was heading.
Okay. I mean, we gotta tell everyone, I guess. We need to. That at least he's somewhere in here. Maybe Orianna might recognize whoever that was. I'm pretty sure I have an idea, but maybe she knows where he is or
I
where he's.
know who it was.
I know. But we don't know. We don't know where he would be. Maybe she would have an idea. She's from here after all.
Wrena is just jaw clenched, like fists at her sides. She's just like really, really tense.
All right, so you're heading back towards the rest of the group.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna cast Calm Emotions, but I'm just gonna let her feel her feelings and.
Okay. All right. So you guys end up coming out of the jail after Orianna and Artemis have had this conversation, and at this point, you see just coming down the other side of the street, Wrena and Nemeron.
I'm just saying, don't make a habit. That's all I'm saying, okay?
Well.
Oh.
Sorry, we broke that promise.
What promise? What?
Not to make it a habit. I know.
No, I was talking to Navari and Zavern.
I know.
Muted.
Can't hear you.
I promise I will not regularly break into libraries.
Let's go with someone who can help you out next time.
I'm gonna look behind Navari's back to see if her fingers are crossed.
Are they crossed?
No,
Okay.
I can promise that I won't regularly break
Yeah.
into a library. That seems reasonable.
It does seem very reasonable.
Okay, so shit may have hit the fan.
No. We just dealt with the shit.
I know.
I
Wrena, do you wanna? It seems to be better.
She's just like grinding her teeth, like isn't saying anything really. Just very, very, still very tense.
So,
Are you alright?
we saw. I'm like, to get a little closer, so I whisper. We saw Cal over by where Marin is,
No.
over by the rending, and he sped off in 3 cars. He left it with a little entourage, and we checked to see if the building was full of people, but no, it's not. It's just empty, an empty room full of boxes. And
We need to
don't-
find out where the rending was moved. That's what we need to know. Because if we find that, we find Cal.
wait, have I met Marin before?
Yes,
Yes.
you've all met her. You
Okay.
didn't. I think the only one who had like an actual full conversation with her was Wrena because she trusted
That's
Wrena.
her. Yeah.
But you've all seen her and have like interacted with her briefly before you kind of like left Wrena to have a private conversation with her when you were
Okay.
all within the rending when Wrena was.
And Orianna delivered a letter for me once.
Yes,
Mhm.
to her.
I mean, should I try sending her a message? Maybe she can answer in her mind. At least check the phone line.
I don't.
I know it doesn't sound very smart, but I mean that's all I can think to do.
What I'm worried about at the moment, Rena, this is Cal's the one you've been looking for, right?
Hmm.
Does Rena like seem responsive at all?
She's just like a muscle in her jaw kind of twitches a little bit. It's like her fists are clenched really tight at her sides.
And I try to describe whatever uniform Cal had on whatever I saw to Orianna, see if she recognizes the place or not the place, the title or the station, I guess.
Do I recognize it?
Yes. Being given the description, that is the and now like you've never gotten Cal's full name because Rena didn't know his full name. She, it came to her village and she only knew this man, and she was very young when everything happened. But hearing the regalia and where they saw him in front of the Blackstone Keep prison, Caloran Volstadt, High Overseer of Blackstone Keep prison, basically like the High Warden of the prison. He oversees everything to do with the criminals and those who are interred, and even even those who are taken as like military criminals as well. He oversees all of that. He is very, very important and very high up in sort of a trillion politics. But you know exactly who he is. He also has a very large estate, and he is very, very well guarded.
So we have a location at least.
But you were not kidding about the Scheisse hitting the farm.
It wasn't our fault this time. We just happened to be there.
I mean, that's what we
I-
said
I
as
don't-
well.
Too many variables going on right now. First off, I posted bail for these
Okay.
two. Paid half of the fine. They're being tracked now, so they can't leave. At least, not unless we want even more Scheisse to hit the fan, as it were.
Is this estate outside of the city?
Are we outside the city? No.
No, the estate that Caloran Volstadt.
Oh.
That he. If you know, you
No,
don't know.
it's
Okay.
it's
Probably
in
not,
it's
right?
within the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually within the same area where
The prison
like,
is.
no, where who's gonna live beside a prison, dude?
Well, you'd be surprised.
Short commute.
True.
No. No.
Teleworks, come on.
Most of the buildings around the prison are like warehouses, like storage facilities,
Oh.
because most people don't want to live close to a prison. It's not exactly the like prime real estate for raising a family and stuff like that. No,
That's fair.
he has his estate is actually within sort of Dragonstone Citadel area,
Oh.
like where Cade's estate is, but like not in the same place, but in that sort of area of very like high up. Like he is much higher than your family, Orianna.
Yeah. We need to put a pin in this right now. There are too many plates on the air. Okay. So, first off, these two need to report for community service in the morning.
Okay.
Unless I can work something out with Kate, which I feel very dirty about now, having been told I'm part of the problem with all the corruption, but
You mean you're part of the problem?
because
You
I'm
paid
using
the fine, right?
not all of it, not yet. I'm trying to gather information. Information is power. And because Navari and Zavrin decided to confess, everything is a little bit more difficult now. So I wanted them to at least be able to sleep comfortably and not in that shithole. So I worked out a deal to pay half of it now and half of it in the morning. The other potential prospect is that if I can get Cade to help us with this a little bit, which it's not exactly like I'm owed favors, so I'm going to be even deeper in debt to Cade. I don't know. We have too many plates in the air. There's too many things going on. We need to focus. What do we want to deal with first? We have the strings, we have the community service, we have Cal.
I will say this: the strings. First of all, Navari hasn't gone back from his contact earlier,
Her.
and her contact. Sorry, and it's a mythical item. Like the last we know is that this wandering traveler used them, and they were lost somewhere in a trill. But
Well, that's what the meeting with Cade was supposed to help with a bit, to see if there was any sort of underground area where this might be, or something like that might be, and that we would be able to explore. But we're not going to be able to explore if two of our friends are stuck doing community service, whether that's...
not even that. Kay doesn't really deal in magic. He's the strength.
Well, no, I'm not looking for him to know where exactly it is. I'm trying to get a sense of the underground structure, because I'm not... I don't run the city, but he does, so he might know about, I don't know, secret tunnels designed for the Triumvirate to leave the capital if ever it was under siege or something.
Okay, that's fair actually.
I don't know. I mean, retrieving the strings of destiny. This sounds like community service, right?
Service to ourselves.
I love it.
Well, Navari could be onto something there. Perhaps there's something greater than what this measly, insignificant police station can deal with that would benefit the greater city. So you could ask Cade if we could find their Kigu of this city. You know, what is his Kigu? We must ask ourselves this.
Oh, I don't want to agree with you right now because I'm still angry, but yes, that is a good idea. That would at least ease my conscience about being a part of the corruption. But...
And if he doesn't like the rending, well, we can take care of that, right? Look,
Well,
Wrena's ready. Wrena's ready to take care of the rending.
I don't know about the rending. Well, Wrena, are you okay? I mean, I know you're not, but...
Like, she kind of just looks at you and just kind of gives you like a head tilt, like doesn't even really respond. Like she's very much in a different headspace than you are used to Wrena being in.
I was gonna ask, is it Wrena or is it one of the ancestors looking at me? Can I make an insight check? Okay, it's Wrena. Okay.
It's Wrena.
Okay.
Her eyes a little
the
glowy,
ancestors
but...
don't
Take
possess her. Yeah, they don't possess her. They help her. You've never watched them like take over her body or her mind. Her mind and body have always been her own.
Her own.
They're just there to assist her and you guys when you are in, dire situations and things like that.
Okay. Just making sure.
Guys, I just remembered something.
Oh no. Good or bad?
Wrena works with Orianna.
Okay. Ephraim?
Oh.
Wrena. One
he
of the
did.
Lurks Eterna. Well, yeah. Never mind then. he's probably
I mean,
not
you
here anymore.
guys. I mean, yeah, you guys kind of ruined his whole thing.
Yeah.
You can ask if he's still here, but you get the sense that had he have stayed in the city, it would not have probably been great for him, in a sense.
Yeah, I don't know why. I suddenly remembered that, and I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah,
he
no,
could
like
help,
at the
but-
end of that, when you kind of found out his whole sort of conspiracy,
Yeah.
working with the strangled vine, he teleported away, and Lex wasn't able to stop him at that time.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it's not a bad idea to talk to Kate about it at the very least. We could see if, instead of negating the punishments,
Make it in exchange for something else, or
we
like
align them with something that is more to our benefit. Again, still feel gross about that. I do not like thinking that I am a part of political corruption, but
We can do something
Like-
much greater than street sweeping.
You could always tell
Gotcha.
him that this Calran that person has essentially murdered people and gotten away with it.
if we do that, though,
If-
that limits our chances of finding the rending.
well, the problem with that is that, again, I'm not exactly owed favors here. I am still owing favors. So it's not like my word carries much weight right now.
We're helping him out by removing the rending from existence.
I mean, we can bring it up as an option. I'm not saying we can't bring that up as an option, but trying to convince him that Caloran is an enemy is going to be difficult.
He is an enemy.
Sounds like removing him would be, I don't know, some
He
sort
might-
of service to the community.
Here's the problem. All right, something like the ending is not always led by just one person. You may have multiple people that are in it together. It is a bigger problem than just Cal. I don't know if he's in charge of it, but I can tell you that what he has done is evil. He has murdered and killed, and every person that goes into that fighting ring, two go in, only one comes out, and that's not always by their choice. Whatever it is, even if all we take out right now is Cal, at least I know he's in the city and I don't have to worry about where he is. He's here now. I haven't seen Connie. If anything, I just want to at least see my brother. Even if we can't deal with this now, I just want to see if Connie is here. Or even if he's still alive, I don't even know.
I understand, Wrena, and we will do something. I'm merely saying that I don't know we're going to be able to convince Cade that he is. We don't have
But then let's
favors
not go
owed.
to Cade. I just want to find out where he is. And if I have to do it, and I have to go and sit and watch and wait, just to at least see if he's alive. That's all. That'll be enough for me for now. I don't have to take him out now. I have waited 15 years. I can wait a few more weeks or a few more days, whatever it is. I just want to know that Connie is alive. So if you can tell me where he is, I can go and I can watch, I can see. If they're going to be tied up in community service, I can at least go and observe. I won't do anything to get you in further trouble. I know that your name means something in this city, but I am not specifically from Riverin. All right, this is what matters to me. I'm not asking you to do it too. I'm just at least wanting to see.
I know. I'm trying to figure out how we can simplify our problems here. There are so many things going on. About what time is it, DM?
I believe I said it was like around getting to close to dinner time at this point, and you were meant to meet Kate up just after dinner.
We need to find like some street food or something and eat something real quick because I need to start heading to Cade's place.
Is Kate somebody you feel comfortable divulging all of this to?
I mean, he knows most of everything already. It's just not specifics about our most recent endeavors.
Then why not just tell him the basics of what's going on and see what he thinks is a good idea? Maybe he has a way to keep your name unsullied. Although I don't know why you would have power and not use it. That seems insane.
I want to make things better here in the long run, Navari. I just don't want things to be kept the same. I want things to improve. I want this place to be better. And that officer opened my eyes that there are problems. And that if I'm exploiting those same problems, that I'm no better than the problems I have with this place.
I think Navari will walk up to you, put a hand on your shoulder, and say, Orianna, I think if I've learned anything about you, it's that whatever you do is for the better, even if sometimes it's a little roundabout.
Thank you, Navari. That means a lot. Alright. I will go talk to Kate. If someone wants to come along with, you're more than welcome to. It's not like we're going on a date or anything. No, stop those looks. Stop those looks.
You better believe I'm coming to see this.
I mean, I didn't say that word.
We haven't seen them in a while. Just saying.
Anyway, I will talk to him about the community service issue. If we can get it altered in some way, maybe, as opposed to just swept under the rug. We don't need that. And I will see what we could do about pointing him in the direction of the reckoning, or at least allowing him to point us in the direction of the reckoning. Rending, sorry.
League of Legends.
Getting the source material confused with the game.
You may want to also, I don't know exactly what your betrothed does in the city, but
he's not my betrothed.
All I'm saying is I don't know what his role is exactly, like what he does. But one thing you should probably mention is if people have been going missing, there could be ties to the rending, especially if it's a lot of people over a long period of time. The rending has been going on for more than a decade, maybe even more than that. I don't know the background of it, but I can tell you people probably have gone missing for a long time. It might be something worthwhile to look into.
I'll also drop the name Caloran as well and see if he knows anything or can lead us down some path, or if he even trusts him. I mean, he's high up there, but maybe he's not well liked.
Does he personally know Caloran?
I have no idea.
If he does, maybe you can also ask him if he has seen my brother with him. If he sees him, I don't know again what he does, but if he has anything to do with him, maybe.
Orianna, you know that your entire group has met with him before. Like, this is a you specifically said this was about business, so he would not turn away any of your your group from being there. So the entire group can go if they want.
We can all go.
There's nothing stopping your group from being there unless other people want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I should say, you all are invited to come. I mean, it's a business trip. So if you want to come, you're more than welcome to and ask your own questions and everything. I don't know if you guys all want to do something else. I mean, Navari and Zavrin might have one night of freedom left.
And so they have to pick up trash in the
Should-
streets.
Actually, you know what? That's actually a very good idea. Now that I think about it, I think the two of you should come with me. Because I don't want you having more freedom to get into more trouble.
I was actually thinking the three of me, Zevran, and Navari can go back to the library.
Well, that's-
No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm sorry. I'm trying to lighten the mood. Sorry.
It's, no
No?
mood enlighteners right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
I could read Cade's mind to see what he's thinking while we're talking. Perfect.
Please,
Yes.
please do not. Please do not.
That didn't go so well over at the Hidden Sun. So maybe, you know.
Fine. No fun this time.
Right, let's just get some street food, and whoever wants to come can come, and whoever wants to go back to my mother's place can go back to my mother's place.
Okay.
So you all on your start making your way towards the Dragonstone Citadel area again. Easily enough to find either like small shop where you can grab sandwiches, or a vendor on the street where you could grab kebabs or other types of proteins and other good food. I'll say for the group of you to get something along with like a drink, so that you can like fill your bellies, probably like a total of like a gold for all of you.
I'll take care of it.
But eventually you will find yourselves in front of the Gorsham estate. You see the same thing that you've always seen: the closed gates, the guards standing there, making sure that everything is as it should be. And again, even through the streets, because this is like the heavy sort of political central district where very important people are along the streets, like walking. There are people out, but everyone, the majority of the people that you see are like well dressed in military regalia or in like city guard, and it is very heavily patrolled. So like pretty often you'll see like people either with military uniforms or guard uniforms like walking to and from these areas.
And I will head up to his place, I guess. And who's with me?
The whole group going?
Sorry.
I guess. Yeah.
All right, everybody's with me. I'll lead the way.
All right, you head up to the guards. You state your purpose. They send a messenger back into the estate, and eventually someone you recognize comes out. A chamberlain who has led you in before nods at you and leads you, as they open the gates, up the path that leads straight into the large front doors of the estate, and towards the office that you have been in before as well, and the rest of you have also been in there when Orianna was originally detained for execution when you first entered Riverin unknowingly. And the large oak doors are opened, and you see Cade with his back to you, staring out into the gardens behind his estate. Once you're all in the room, he turns, nods at the chamberlain, and the door closes. He says, "Welcome. It is a pleasure to see you all. Well, please have a seat, and we can get to business. It seemed urgent, so what is the matter?"
Well, it became more urgent after our discussion. And I will look over at Zavrin and Navari.
What do you mean?
We two of
Navarre's not
us.
paying attention.
Two of us. How shall I say this?
Four of us are
Doctor-
stupid, and they did something stupid, but they did it with good intentions. Don't know why you have to
Thank
mince
you,
our
Wrena.
words.
Yes.
That is
Right,
that is the
okay.
easiest solution.
Your
What?
Highness. Highness?
I
Is
am
it
not
Highness?
your highness, no.
No, it's just.
I am
gosh.
Kate. You can just use my name, or you can call me Strength. It's fine, either way.
Strength?
Of the Triumvirate. You are from here. I would think that you would understand our customs.
I'm not from the city itself.
You're from the nation. You are a part of Etril.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Strength.
They got themselves into some trouble, and long story short, they were arrested. We
Okay.
got them out on bail.
I see.
They're still owed community. They still owe community service, and another 2,500 gold pieces for their fine. We were
And
wondering.
this is my problem. How
It
you break the
shouldn't.
law and you expect what?
It sh-
Now,
it
the
sh-
last time you broke the law, you did service to our nation, and so the punishment was less. But you still had punishment, if you remember, traveling to Emberhold and handling things there. If you expect to break the law and get away with it, because you can come to me, you are mistaken, Orianna.
not to get away with it.
Then just pay the fine and do the community service. I assume you coming to me and saying that they are already sentenced, it means that the
They confessed.
investigate. I see. Well then, if they did commit this crime, they confessed to this crime, then they are criminals, and they will be punished as criminals.
Of course, Strength. We wish to serve the community for our dirty deeds. But with
Excellent.
Navarre and my talents, we were just hoping that we could serve a greater community need than simply sweeping streets or whatever they will have us do in the morning for 3 days.
Well,
Perhaps
you are
we
not
could.
sure what they will have you do, I assume, if they have not stated your service yet, but of course we can give you something of import to do if you wish to provide. You both helped with the refugee situation, I remember, back when things first occurred, the Dark Tidings. We can perhaps have you help with that again.
Absolutely. She gets to stab things. I get to blast things. That would be right up our alley. Helping people rather than helping the streets.
Of course, we would not waste your talents if you are willing to use them in that way. I can see what can be done to make sure that you are not street sweepers. That I can do for you if this is what you ask of me.
Look at
That
Navarre.
is, that
Alright.
is more than what I would have hoped for, yes. But Navari, Zavin, it's your decision.
I mean, we did it on good faith the last time. I don't see why it's any problem this time.
Then
Other than maybe the things out of the city side of the city getting deadlier, but that just sounds like more fun.
you will not be alone, of course. You will be alongside captains of the squadrons that are out there to help the merchants and people find refuge where they need to be, or scavenge for resources in order to ensure that the city can continue to run smoothly until we can deal with this wider situation alongside the other nations. But I appreciate that then. If you are amenable to it, I will speak with whoever it is I need to. Where exactly were you?
It was Xavier Founds.
I see. Okay. I do not know this man personally, but I will look into him and have a conversation about your service to the community and how your talents should be directed.
As they're talking, Wrena kind of comes over and she kind of gives like a little elbow nudge to Orianna and is like,
Yes, that was not the only reason, obviously. That was just something that came up and needed to be discussed. But
Is there something that your group... I just... 3 times, if you include your first indiscretion, Orianna, every time you set foot in the city almost, a law is broken.
I'm trying to keep us more in line with what is expected of
And
citizens.
what were you doing to cause a law to be broken this time?
They were trying to break into the restricted section of a library.
I see. Interesting how twice now you have been found where you shouldn't be. Within restricted places in Riveren. You think that the law does not apply to you. Is this it?
If I may speak in her defense, in all fairness,
I'm not asking her, Nivari. And he's directly looking at you at this point.
We broke into the restricted section. If anything, she's just guilty of poor
I'm not asking
judgment and
Orianna,
friends.
Nivari. I am specifically asking you.
Oh,
You think the law does not apply to you, that you are somehow unaffected, absolved of it.
honestly? No. I just prefer to be places where laws are a little lax or non-existent.
You'll find that that is very rare. Even in the places where it seems like laws do not apply, they do. And
I suppose.
perhaps you get away with much. But I will tell you this. Be very careful what laws you next break in Riveren.
so here's a question.
Yes.
If laws are so important in Riveren, why do you have a person who's a high official getting away with murder and kidnapping?
What do you talk about?
There is a man, Kalran Vorstadt.
The High Overseer of our prison.
Yes. I did not know his full name until today. But that man arranged the murder of my parents and kidnapped 3 people from our village. One of which died as a result of what he did. Another was crippled. And yet another, potentially, is still within his hold.
You bring bold claims against a well-known official and guardian of a Trill and Riveren. Do you have
And
evidence of these claims?
I have. a witness, and not just of myself.
Other than a witness, which is unreliable and circumstantial. Do you have evidence of these claims? These are very serious claims, and I will take them seriously. But you cannot just come in here, accuse a man of Caloran Station of these things and expect me to act upon them with no understanding of whether they are true or not. We have many enemies, many people who do not like us, do not wish us to be where we are.
What
I get
evidence
threats
would-
almost every day.
I understand. What evidence would be sufficient for you to act on my claims?
Documents, forensic evidence of these murders, bodies, anything that I could factually use as a way to bring Caloran in for questioning and know that he has directly had a part in, or maybe even indirectly, ordered murders. What I do know of Caloran is that he runs the prison efficiently, that he has rehabilitated many prisoners who are now active and vigilant members of our military, who have defended our country and our people. These are the things I do factually know. But if there is something more to this man, I will not turn a blind eye.
Then I will do what I can to get you evidence that will be sufficient, as my word is not enough, or the word of witnesses who have been affected by his doings within the city that you are not aware of. Like
I
you,
said,
I want to see justice done, but I will do it fairly.
then you will get the outcome you wish if you are able to bring these forward. A witness is okay. It just cannot be your only piece of evidence. There needs to be more than that. Something to anchor a testimony to.
All right.
Caloran is often traveling. Now that you have brought this to me, I will see if in my dealings with him and the prison, if there is anything notable. He is having a party in a few days for dignitaries. I will be there.
Could you do me a personal favor? I know that you owe me nothing. But when you go to this, if you see someone, a male, about 4 or 5 inches taller than me, same color hair, if you see this man, can you just let me know?
Guards.
Probably.
Caloran, his, I think, lieutenant or general of his guard.
He would look a lot like me.
I have seen this man.
Do you know if he is with him often?
Almost all the time. Anytime Cal goes out of his estate. Probably within it too, but I would assume that he gets time off.
Recently?
So, I have not seen Cal recently because I believe he only recently got back to the city from his business elsewhere. He has been helping us work with some of the other cities and nations to trade and defend on both sides. But he recently got back. If I do see this man at this party, I could let you know.
Just knowing he's in the city would be enough for now.
If I see him,
Thank you.
I will tell you.
Thank you.
There was one other thing that I wanted to ask you about. We're looking for an artifact of great power that could benefit us in our mission to help stop all of this. The only hard lead we have is that it is beneath Riverin. Now, I know there are the sewers and the tomb, but I don't think it's in any of those places. Is there somewhere under the city where something like that might be hidden? Some sort of catacombs or sealed tunnels?
It is possible. There are plenty of parties in this city. I do not have eyes on every facet of everything. And even if I did, some business is better left to run. Some is not, and some is stopped, but each of the triumvirate has their hands in different things, and we make sure our nation runs smoothly, and this city runs smoothly. I do not know about catacombs. Could there be? Possibly. The sewers are vast. This city is vast. I remember you saying last time when you learned of Wrena and broke into the tomb, you had found evidence within the sewers of other nefarious deeds. There could be more than that going on down there. But this artifact, if it is under the city, it is not in any of the known places I have visited or that I know of under the city.
That at least helps narrow it down a bit, I think. That is, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Unless any of you have something that you would like to ask him.
I will do a mind talkie to Orianna.
Telepathic
Say,
speech, sure.
Did we tell him about the generals? If there's one hiding under the ground of the city, similar to Sunshine City, he might want to know about that.
I don't think any of our theories have any in a trill.
No, but it was like up in Emberhold, I think, was the closest one.
Well,
Yeah.
and there's
Frozen Boy?
permafrost, but we already
Yeah.
talked about that with him. When we first went to Emberhold, so he knows it's there and has sent more.
He's
Okay.
already
people
sent
there,
a
hopefully.
contingent of people to
Okay.
look
Yeah.
into that one.
We don't know where the Hulks are. The Leviathan's a sea monster, so unless it's off the coast, or at least we think the Leviathan's a sea monster. Crystal Prison if it's in Fort Knox, but I mean, we don't even know if that's the case. Mother of Monsters, that was in Zuma. I suppose it could be here, but we have
We
nothing
could
to go on.
help inform him that it's at least going on, that it's happening now.
There is something I think you should know about, Kate. Tharusdun is the cause of all of this, as I'm sure you've probably guessed, if not heard about. But we believe there are 10 generals that are trying to accelerate his ultimate release.
I see.
We have a few theories on some of them. We think one might be tied to what we found under Emberhold. In fact, we plan to go up there and check on it when we're able to.
I have had guards go up there so far. It has been quiet. There have been no more incidents.
It's good. I'll take out a copy of the poems and I will hand it to him. These were messages given to us fairly directly. If anything on this list seems familiar, or if you see signs of anything like this, you know how to reach me.
There was one underneath Sunshield City.
Underneath the city.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, there was a gate being made, and we managed to at least seal it off or temporarily disable it. But yeah, one of those poems was directly underneath the capital of Valadon. So
And do you think this artifact coincides with one of these generals?
not necessarily, but it can help us at least defend ourselves better against whatever onslaught these generals might bring. We don't know much about them, honestly.
This is disconcerting, but I appreciate you bringing these tidings to me. I have not seen anything pertaining to any of these warnings, poems, legends.
Can I insight check him on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, with the 24. Yeah, he's telling the truth.
Okay.
This is news to him. The only one that, I mean, there's like a slight inkling of recognition, but he says the only one that seems like it coincides is the one you told me to look into at Emberhold.
Okay.
But again, I don't know if that's a guarantee.
I
But that there is that strange cold aura that comes from that place and that sealed cavern.
Okay.
I do want to tell you to just know that the general that we came across in Sunshield City was in the city before the barriers were put up. And
Oh, that's very true.
so just keep an eye open. That's all I'm saying.
Let me give you a piece of advice. You wish to move quickly because of everything that is happening in the world in the cities without them, outside of them. You will catch more flies with honey than trying to force your way in certain directions. If you believe that we are not concerned about the state of things, then you are very naive. But we do have nations to run, people to protect, and panic does not help anyone in these kinds of situations. So, if you are looking to find ways of moving more quickly, perhaps trying to gain notoriety on the positive side will better open doors for you. For instance, and he looks at you, Wrena. If you're important enough figures in a city, in a nation, in a situation like the one we find ourselves in now, it is not too difficult to find an invitation to a party hosted by one of our members of now, I believe our time is at an end. I am a very busy man, and as much as I would like to continue to help you with your situations, I think you have the means and necessity to assist yourselves. You are all very intelligent and have your own ingenuity. You have managed to deal with many strange situations in your travels, so I have no doubt that there are options for you in your next endeavors. If you need another meeting with me, please speak with the scribes at the Citadel or ask my Chamberlain. But otherwise, this is where we part for now. And he pushes himself up and stands up and walks sort of around, opens one of the large doors for you, and kind of like bows and holds his arm out for you to exit. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for seeing us, Kate.
Thank you, strength.
Do pay the rest of the fine, Orianna.
Of course.
And try to keep your sticky fingers to yourselves. Or at least be smarter. And
Oh,
then
because of
as
the
you
honey.
And then as you walk out, the door shuts, and you see the Chamberlain sort of waiting there for you, leading you out of the estate and back into the streets in the Dragonstone Citadel area of the city. It's probably around 8:30 at night at this point.
As we leave the grounds, Orianna will go, "Shit, we forgot to ask about the damn library."
Well, oh
And
well.
I'll turn to the Chamberlain real quick. Apologies.
No.
I
If you
think
could-
you should just let it go for now. We have enough on our plate. And we've already pushed our luck enough. As he said, he's important, he's busy. We, and I look at Zavrin and Mari, made our choices, and sometimes you have to deal with the consequences of our choices.
No matter how sticky with honey they are.
You know what? I think Navari's actually kind of getting like enough. She's got the grin on her face, but it's got less cheeriness to it at this point. You know, I think I'm done for the evening anyways. Whatever adventures you're going to go on, go ahead and do it. I think I'm going to head back to... you know what? The estate doesn't sound like a good idea. I'm sure there's some seedy hotel will put me up. Because quite frankly, for doing what I was asked to do, I'm quite sick of all this law and order. I get a lecture on why I'm not obeying the law, even though I confessed to the crime after I did something wrong. So you lot can go wherever you want to go. Don't jaywalk, obey all the laws. I'm going to go get trash somewhere really dirty. Cheers, y'all.
I'll pick you up later. Call if you need help.
All right, Navari huffily walks off to likely go get
Make
drunk
good
somewhere.
choices!
Go fuck yourself.
Okay. The 5 of you are left there as Navari heads off.
And DM, you said it's about 8:30 in the afternoon, at nighttime. Okay.
In the afternoon, 8:30.
Technically, yeah.
8:30
No, it makes
in the
sense in
afternoon.
Spanish. Sorry.
Because it's 9 in the afternoon.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
did I tell you guys what the glasses do now? These boys on my head.
What does they do?
So, in case you've been wondering why I bought a dictionary, I got smarter and I don't know how to handle it. And I've been confused because my head's hurting a lot, and I don't know, these, I don't know, they hurt. not physically, mentally. My brain's not used to this I wasn't smart before, so I just need to get used to having I have a brain, but I don't know. It's just...
Oh my god, Nemeron's totally the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz.
I gained sentience and I'm self-aware.
I got a brain.
So if I'm still out of sorts, it might take me a while to get used to these again, or for the first time. I got them to work though. They're nice and shiny now.
They are. They have little bug antennas on them.
Yeah, I'm better at finding things like an antenna would do. No, it wouldn't. Sorry.
I really want to find Marin.
I'm so confused.
Me too. And I'm the one wearing them. As far as Marin goes, do you think she would be in the keep? Like as a placeholder or a holding cell temporarily?
Marin probably would keep her head down now. She would be somewhere where she wouldn't draw a lot of attention to herself, because right now
He's
she is
here.
ashamed. She's ashamed of who she is. And
I remember you telling me.
more than likely she is trying to not, again, bring any attention to herself. So somewhere where someone could keep their head down is more than likely where we will find Marin.
DM, can you run it by me? Oh, sorry. Can people, or I guess like Marin or whatever employees of the renting, can they leave and come back, or is it just like you're in there? Is like an arena where the employees leave after their shift or something, or no? Like, probably not. But
Well, I mean, you get the sense that the people that work in those kinds of places
Mhm.
are involved in something illegal.
Okay, that's fair.
So they're all aware of what they're doing, and they know that if they like give up what's going on, they're in just as much trouble as like anyone else.
Okay.
So most of them will just stay quiet about it and like do their jobs.
Okay.
There is nothing that chained Marin
Okay.
to the
The arena.
rending. She
Okay.
chose to stay because it became a part of her life.
Okay.
And she felt like maybe she could make a difference in some way there, because she was not the same. Like, the person that went in is not the person that survived.
Okay. Okay, that was my one question. Thank you.
And so you get the sense that like Marin's not gonna run away from this.
Okay. I mean,
But no, nothing is like physically chaining her. Like, you don't get the sense that like if someone left and like tried to talk about it, they'd probably get offed. But like if someone leaves and disappears and goes off somewhere else to like live a life somewhere else, probably not, unless they're someone
open their
of, like,
mouths.
unless there's someone of like super high import, or like helps keep things running on a day-to-day basis, and like just tries to like disappear, or like tries to take money or something. Like that's generally when a person wouldn't kind of be able to get out. But you get the sense that like, you know, a normal person, like the guards that just work the rending and stuff like that to make an extra buck or whatever, are doing something illegal, but they're not, like, if they decide like I don't want to do this anymore, as long as they don't talk about it, they're probably fine to like
You don't talk about the
leave.
Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Would Marin be going somewhere seedy, like a Navari seedy place?
I don't know. She wouldn't have used to, but maybe now she would.
Mm. I mean,
I haven't seen her in a while. The only communication I had with her was the letter I sent with Orianna to give to her. But at that time, she was, I believe, where Maran and I went before. But she was not there.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't even. Well, there was nothing inside the building. Just boxes.
I didn't see anything. I think whatever it was before, the front has now been changed.
Okay. I mean, do you want to do another sweep of it? I mean, or maybe, keep our hands to ourselves?
I told Kate I would go about it the right way. Someone like Cal would cover his tracks as best as he could, but there is always information to be found some way, and I'm going to find it.
But on a legal way. If that's what you told Kate.
If it is possible,
okay,
I will do it in a legal, upstanding way. Because
okay.
I believe that what Kate says, he does seem honorable to me. I think he really does want the best for this city and for the people, and to uphold the law. I also do not want to harm Orianna's relationship with Kate, or her family's relationship with Kate. He is a man of importance here, and with that comes a certain level of due respect, regardless of whether you think that is the case or not. That is the way the world works.
Fair.
And I think we owe it to the city and to its people to try to not drag our names and the names of Biloxi Turner through the mud through our association with them. I know it's not as fun to do it that way, but in this instance, I want to do it the right way.
Okay, I got your back.
Navari's gone at this point. You don't need to lecture her more.
I'm not lecturing you.
Zavern feels it. I must apologize again.
You guys are all assuming Oriana's the goody two shoes. Wrena may be fun, but trust me, she's still a little bit of a goody two shoes.
I apologize again to you all for the trouble we've caused.
It's alright.
That was pretty funny seeing you dragged off.
As I
Oh.
said to Kate, I think you did it with good intentions. I believe that you meant well.
Right. But I know it's not what Lex would have wanted for us to do.
We all have to find our own path, Zabrin. But the choices that you make today affect who you turn out to be tomorrow. So make the choices for the person that you want to see yourself become. That's all I'm saying.
That's a pretty good one, Rena. Thank you.
I'm sorry I've been so temperamental.
No, that's understandable. 100%.
I haven't looked at those eyes for a long time. I haven't seen him in a very long time.
No, we don't blame you. I mean,
You know, Kate did bring up an interesting point, though. If we could get in the good graces of someone who is invited to the party, we might be able to get in ourselves. Might be able to see your brother.
Wrena would be recognized immediately, though.
Nemeron, Orianna,
Okay.
and I'll allow this for Navari as well, just because like Navari's out of the picture, but she was part of the conversation. So all of you can make insight or intelligence.
Okay.
Intelligence is better.
Just those three, right?
Yeah. because-
17. Why is it at advantage?
Jesus.
Okay. 19 and a 26 insight for. Okay, so first for Orianna. Cade has to. I mean, Cade is who he is. And you know from the interactions that you've had with him and the conversations that you've had with him privately, his beliefs. He abides by the law, even though it does constrain. But he also knows laws are made for a reason. However, when he was speaking to you, you definitely got the undertones of him telling you basically like, yeah, you could, there are ways to do this that get you to where you need to be without you necessarily having an issue with getting caught in the wrong way. Nemeron, based on your insight, and just like how he was speaking, yeah, he talked about getting in the good graces of the city opens more doors for you. But there was a hint underneath of that of there are multiple ways to get where you need to be without it requiring the potential for failure. In the sense of you could be invited as a guest. But there are other ways to find yourself where you need to be when trying to get close to someone. Navari. Very interesting when listening to Cade. He is a man of law, based on what you were listening to. But you know how to understand like the double talk of people just given your business. And you're just guessing that given who Cade is and the nest of vipers that he lives in, he's had to learn some of that himself. And so as he lectured you on, you know, maybe instead of breaking into places, you try to make friends. The underlying message that he was giving you was that, yeah, you could make a name for yourself and get an invite from Cal himself or from someone else, whether it be another member of the Triumvirate. You could find yourselves in the employ of his estate, in the employ of his guard. You could make friends with someone on his staff. Or you could find a way to manipulate a situation and get yourselves where you need to be. He kind of gave you that with what he was saying while not saying it. And it was very strange for you to hear that from a person of his station and how he holds himself. But you get the sense of his, with the 26 insight, though he's loyal to his country, he does believe that your group is doing the right thing, and he does have a sense of care for Orianna and her family and her situation. And though he won't outright break a law for any of you, he will potentially give you opportunities that might present themselves. That's what y'all get.
I think given that the most clear opportunity that's coming up is the chance to help refugees, and there is a potential for making a name that way. So Navari is going to follow through on her plan to go find somewhere else to drink and stay, but I think she's I assume that like the refugees aren't just being evenly dispersed throughout the city. They're being held up in different places, like whether it be in camps or like what's the deal with people coming into the city?
Well, you actually remember like when you went into Orianna's estate, some of the rooms in her estate were actually being given up to refugees as well, because her mother wanted to help people. So it's really up to like, it's some of the higher ups in this city who have space and room are giving it over to refugees. There are like makeshift areas that are being cleared out. People are giving up their homes, like any extra space that they have. So it's kind of like a mix. But you're right. There's not one single area that has become like a camp for refugees necessarily. They're being kind of spread out as they can, where necessary. Yeah, that's the sense that you get.
So given that, I think I'll go back to the pub from the second game we ever played, where I made a big stink about fighting a dragon. And Navari is going to stay sober. I think she's going to like taking a look at the gold that she has left, she's gonna weigh out like about 35 of it, and I'll just take that off right now.
Okay.
And is going to start glad handing and trying to dig into names of people who are also currently helping bring people into the city.
Okay. Easily enough, you can find various like city guard members who have worked with like people who are, work on the fringes of the gates to the city and the walls. Military members who are just coming in to have a drink, and then even just like some of the like just various workers in the city who have been giving up space to refugees and stuff like that. Go ahead and give me a general charisma check.
Okay. I should have taken rogue the first level because that is not a.
Because this isn't really like a persuasion. This is just you trying to seeing how. This is just to see like how you make friends and how far your money goes and.
Yeah,
okay.
No, that's rough.
I mean, you meet a lot of people, and you chat with them and offer them coin to help them with the situation, to let them know your situation and how you want to kind of be of service, to get them to know your name and your face and then just the name of your group and your previous exploits when you had been here about a month ago to help and how you're back to continue the efforts, and you generally do meet quite a few different people from all walks, and they take note of who you are and of your willingness to assist in situations, and a few of them the military and city guard let you know, like if we see you in the mornings or whatever, we'll make sure to ensure that you're remembered and your deeds and the things that you're doing are well known within the ranks, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, and with a 10, I assume that like though it's successful, like I'm still PO'd and just a little off my regular game.
Yeah, I mean it's successful. It's not wildly successful, like you meet a lot of people of like lower rank in the guard. You don't meet anyone that is like a captain or like a general or a high general or anything like that. Same with like the city guard. Like you don't meet someone who's like as high as like the head detective you met from your little stint in jail. But you do meet people who you feel will go the extra mile for you to say like what you are doing. So you feel like you do have some standing with, you're starting to gain some standing within the city, and your group is gaining some standing within the city that will hopefully offset some of the other things that you've done. You even meet like a couple of like sanitation workers that are doing their best to like keep the streets clean, keep the sewers clean, that are talking about like the influx of people has created an abundance of like extra waste, and they've been taking extra shifts and are doing their best to make sure that the city doesn't just get overloaded and overrun with like garbage and things like that, and you get in good with like them as well, and they are appreciative of the help that you're providing and the funds that you provide to help them continue to assist over and above their regular duties. But yeah, I would say like with a 10, yeah, you unfortunately like you don't meet like a high noble or a high general or head of guard or anything like that. Most of the people that you're meeting are like the average Joes who are trying their best to make a difference as well.
I get along with the average Joes better anyways, so.
All right. What are the rest of you doing?
At this point, would we be at Orianna's estate already, or would we just be? What time? What time does the library close?
Yeah, you're outside of his
The Citadel? No, not the
yeah,
Citadel.
you're outside of Cade, like you're outside of Cade's estate. So you have to decide like where do you want to go? You're still in the like the Citadel is very close. Like you can see the large building above you, and you know where that stairway is that rises up to the throne room, the audience chamber. But like that is not far off from the estate, so you're still in that general vicinity and that general area where Cade's estate is, Ileana's mage tower is. You've never seen Alexander anywhere other than in the throne room twice. So you have no idea where his stuff is. And I will say, Orianna, you also, just knowing who he is, have no idea where he lives, likely for good reason, that he, like, no one really knows where his existence is tied. But yeah, you are in that vicinity of where a lot of like the high politicians, like I said, the high magisters, the diplomats, the high overseer of the prison, the strength, the wits of the triumvirate, like all of these people have their homes close to their work.
Okay.
Orianna, potential other source of information, perhaps. Is there a temple of Ioun? Would worshippers of Ioun here willingly share research information? Or is that inside the library that I just lost my library card to?
Most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, DM, but most of the time, the temples of Ioun are either attached to or within the libraries in these cities.
There is no temple to Ioun here. The temple that you know of, there's a temple to Erathis here. Beyond that, there is also a smaller temple to Moradin. Closer to the like merchant district. And I'm just trying to think. And there would be also a temple to Corlin, sort of on the like eastern edge of the city. Also a smaller one.
There is a temple to Corellin over on the eastern side of the city, but not any temples to Ioun. It's part of the reason why, when I was a little girl, I wanted to make a story worthy of her grand libraries, because I imagined them to be so prestigious and awesome.
A pretty cool one, really. But hopefully your story wouldn't be locked away in a public library, look into the city.
I think a private collection of books would be worse.
It's difficult to say.
Well, even Corlin, I mean, perhaps they would know of things. Knowing things is kind of in their wheelhouse.
I mean, magic. If you're looking for sort of information on magic, that might be the best place to look. But
the item's magical? It's halfway there.
So I will say this, and you don't need to check for this.
Sure.
Artemis spoke to Avandra. Avandra probably knows exactly where this item is. she's not going to tell you where it is. Like, the whole point of this is you have to show your worthiness to actually procure it. It doesn't just fall into your hands. Like, you get the sense that if one of these gods who created these artifacts, it's tied to their abilities. Just like they can take away the magic from those artifacts if they really, really wanted to and just, like, negate them completely, they likely know exactly where they are at all times. The fact that she didn't just be like, oh, you just have to go, like, down this street and under, you know, this stone and, like, you know, dig your hand around in a little way and then you pull them out and they're all yours. Like, there's an expectation that you do some work. And if you can't find it, then it wasn't meant for you in the first place. So you get the sense of, like, asking Corlin, you know, where this artifact is, you're probably not going to get an answer. You might get some information, I'll say that, but, like, you're not going to get, like, oh yeah, I'll show you the secret corridor that you have to take in order to get there, kind of thing.
I didn't mean like pick up the red phone to Corlin, just go, like, assuming that his followers would know of magical items or books or have books
maybe
there.
That is potential, but yeah, there's, like, the expectation that you guys do the research and you guys do the foraging for the item. But yes, I just wanted to make that clear. Like, he's not necessarily, like, his temple is not necessarily, and him himself is not necessarily going to be like, oh yeah, I know exactly where this is. Here, let me help you. Let me help you out and just, like, tell you where it is. All you have to do is, like, go and pick it up. It's all good.
Zavin was selfishly trying to go to Temple of Ioun to talk to her about other things.
Yeah, there was one in, and I will say this, Orianna, like, the library here is extensive and it is massive. It's just not one of, like, the main gods. Ioun's not outlawed here, and she's not banned. Like, plenty of people do worship her. There's just not a large temple to her faith here, unlike there was in Sunshield City and in Zuma. Again, Atril has always been more towards, like, law, order, civilization, technology, magic, that kind of stuff. It's not to say that they don't use knowledge, but they do, they amass it, but it's not one of their, like, main core sort of focuses.
Is there, like, a Bible study for Ioun that meets weekly or something like that? I mean, the serious question is, like, do the worshippers, since they don't have a formal place to worship her,
there may be. Orianna wouldn't know because she was never specifically religious. Like, she likes knowledge, and she likes the fact that Ioun and knowledge go together, knowledge and prophecy and a little bit of magic. And so that was her whole thing. But she never specifically was religious ever, so that would not have been something that she would know about. So that there is a possibility, that there are followers that get together at a specific place. Maybe they rent out a temple that is not theirs to have their worship in, or maybe they rent out, like, a tavern or something like that. That is a very real possibility. Orianna just wouldn't know that.
Ioun's Anonymous meet in the library every Wednesday. My luck.
There could actually be a group that meets in the library as well. Like, yeah, you're just not 100% sure.
In the restricted section.
100% right in the restricted section.
That's why it's restricted. There's a temple in there.
They get special access.
I mean, if you're just trying to speak with Ioun, I mean, I would just try prayer. Or just, I mean, I literally would write in this book, and she would respond sometimes. You don't have to be a person of faith, you know? I mean, I don't even know if I consider myself a person of faith when it comes to Asmodeus, even.
I wouldn't call it.
Always, I know what you would call it. Now shut up. You just have to follow their tenets. You have to follow their ideals. I mean, Asmodeus is all about leadership. I want to lead my country into better days. Brighter days, you might even say. But I mean, with Ioun, I mean, all I can tell you is what I knew about her growing up, which was not very much. Knowledge, shared knowledge, God, think back to like early days of the original campaign here.
I got my cheat sheet pulled up too.
Yeah, that's what you know.
Might not even have the notes on my current document anymore because it's so old. Yeah, I mean, just don't accept others' truths. That's a big one as well. That is one I had to learn firsthand when we first started our journey. Truth is very rarely black and white.
All right. Well, now try what I can from the safe confines of the manor, I suppose.
I mean, I could give you a journal if you want to write to her like I do. I mean, that's what I did, but
Does it help if I have books? I can get books.
I mean, it works for me.
I'll
I
surround
don't know if it'll
myself
work
with
for
them
you.
like a séance.
I mean, Artemis, how do you show faith and all that for Avonja?
Well, if I was talking to her, she'd just respond. I could
Nice.
sit at a location, a peaceful spot, to focus on my thoughts towards her, and she'd respond.
No, last time I tried something like that, I nearly strangled the kid.
Okay.
But you did what?
Yeah, sorry, I don't remember this.
Oh, it was so long ago. So
Share with the
so
class.
long ago. Yes.
What do you mean you almost tried?
You were trying to talk to Ayun and you nearly strangled the kid?
Are you trying to pull an effort on us? An effort on us?
I talked inward, like Artemis said. I talked inward, and
Okay.
something
To
talked back.
Ayun?
Ayun's inside of you?
Something's inside of me.
Ayun tried to make you strangle a kid? I don't understand. That completely goes against everything I know.
Maybe he's got a very angry ancestor that he was listening to.
Oh. Never mind. Okay, I understand.
It was well. It was in the cave with Kigu, and we were bedding down for the night. I reached in and tried to talk to whatever it is inside of me, and it talked back. And
Also, not that. Okay, not Ayun. Well, I would
unless
not
Ayun
recommend.
has a very deep voice and a purple eye behind a glass, I don't think so.
And then you came to and you were just like,
Yeah.
that's fun. So we need to deal with Fort Knox then.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Eventually, yes.
Mhm.
Does Ayun's symbol have a purple eye in it?
No.
Okay. I couldn't remember what campaign this was. that there was a purple eye associated with her. So
I think it's usually like a blue eye or purple eye.
I think it's a blue one. Hang on, let me.
Is it like three eyes stuck to? No, probably not. But
Let's see.
that's another show.
No,
that's right.
hers is like a
Yeah, the-
blue
yeah.
eye with like a
Is it what's on my?
Eyelash
Is it what's on
thing.
my goggles?
do your your goggles have kind of the
Like
same
one of the things have the.
yeah, but it's like
yeah.
more blue. It's more blue. And the one that you saw was like alien looking. Like this is more of like a real eye, like not an alien looking weird fucked up eye.
I mean, I can only recommend based on my own experiences, but I feel like this is something more personal to you that you need to find. But I would highly, highly recommend if you're addressing inward to yourself, you do not address to this thing anymore. If it is making you strangle children, that is very bad.
Agreed.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right. I mean, it didn't happen. I didn't. Well, I didn't actually press. And it didn't make contact.
Okay, but it tried to, right? It tried to make you do it.
It's like attempted murder versus murder. They're very different things.
I'm not gonna rat you out, okay? I understand that this is something outside of your control. My point being, do not talk to this thing anymore. It sounds like a bad idea.
Oh yes,
Or don't talk to it alone. Have someone there with you, if you can.
We're intending to talk to it. You tell us beforehand so that we can keep an eye on you.
Wait,
If that happens again.
I think I have an idea. You like talking.
No.
I
right?
do. Yes.
You like talking to people. You don't like books and all that and sitting down and we got to read, right?
Oh, you understand me so well. We're not even mind linked right now.
Talk to her. As if she is there. Pretend if she's speaking on the other side. Imagine what she's saying, something along those lines. Try that.
So I don't need my books like everywhere. I was gonna see a lot of books. I mean, a lot of books, and put them everywhere around me.
I don't think you need to. My point being, for me, books are central to who I am, as Wrena has pointed out with my nickname. So for me, this is what works. For Artemis, it's finding a nice quiet place to focus. Maybe for you, it's just having a conversation. And if she's not responding to you, maybe just pretend she is.
I can't just go to her and ask her for help. I have to offer.
And you
offer
can.
some-
You can. There's nothing stopping you.
Not very smart.
asked
but
for-
what can I offer her?
No, I will say this. When I talked to Sehanin and I found out about the portal and the wildlands,
Uh-huh.
I didn't give anything up in return. At least I don't think I did. But
But you're a worshiper. That's your thing.
and you're here trying to uncover the truths that plague this world. That's something that Ayun is embodying.
There's also a difference between faith and being a follower.
True. Devotion and those are very different things.
I mean, Asmodeus just... as far as my faith goes with Asmodeus, it is following his ideals, which align with my own, in a way. I just try to embody them in better and better.
I was hoping to reach out to her so she could help me understand this thing, and he'll show his tattoo, the body markings around his neck. But, I'll give it a try.
Anyway, it's getting late. I think we should call it at night.
Yes.
We do need to decide what we're doing tomorrow, though, because the two of you are going to be doing community service, and we don't have time to it. I mean, I suppose I could do what Navari asked and try and go to the place and get the information we've found. Maybe that helps us find the strings faster, but...
Or we can just dig underground ourselves and see what we find.
Go back to the library.
I am not going into the sewers and randomly searching, and if we can narrow it down a little bit first.
Okay. But
So-
just
Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go.
No, how long have we been gone from our home and stuff?
From Avonhurst?
From which home?
About a week.
Week and a half.
What are you asking?
Because our house or whatever, our actual home is not here, right?
No, it's in Avonhurst. Avonhurst.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you
it's
were
on the
you were
other-
given
it's on the
you were
other
given your manor in Avonhurst by Luxaturna. You were right after Tharizdun's shackle broke. You were given that, and then you had a month of
Mhm.
just helping with things. And that's when Orianna and Navari and Zavrin came to Riverenn, and you guys did
Okay.
your own thing. And then you left from there to go to the funeral or memorial for those lost in that initial incident and incursion.
Okay.
And then you stayed in Sunshield City for just over a week, and now you're in Riverenn.
Okay. So we've not helped River End really, except for
The one time.
Zavrin and Orianna and
Exactly.
Okay,
Zavrin,
got it.
Zavrin, Orianna, and Navari during that initial part. And then the other things you did were more to help, one, Orianna sort of clear her name, and two, when you went to Emberhold. But again, that was because you had broken into the tomb without asking permission and kind of did it behind the backs of the Triumvirate. So they kind of give you, that was your community service to like let you off the hook a little bit. So those are the things you've done for River End. So you've not done nothing, but a lot of it hasn't been of your own volition. A lot of it has been because of situation. So what are the rest of you doing? Navari's making friends.
Well,
You
I
have
think
stood
that-
outside of Cade's estate for almost an hour at this
We were
point.
walking and talking.
Where are you going?
Back to the manor.
Yeah, back to the manor at this
Okay.
point.
All right. So at this point, you'd be back at the Scarlet Estate.
Okay.
Well, I think I'll turn in for the evening if there's a spare room that I can go to.
We still need to decide what we're doing tomorrow, though.
We can talk about that in the morning. I mean,
All right. Well, we'll talk about it in the morning, I guess.
I have a question. How
Yep.
safe is your estate?
you're
How safe is the estate? Yeah, I'm asking Orianna, sorry.
It's fairly safe, I would imagine. We have guards.
Okay. I kind of feel like sleeping under the stars tonight. I'll just sleep outside. Just...
I was literally gonna say the same thing. I was like, I wanted to maybe sit outside.
Yeah, she has. They have a heavy contingent of guard because of who her father is and her mother.
Okay.
So it's fairly well guarded.
Okay. I mean, I can keep it company if you want, Wrena, or do you want time to process everything that we saw?
She just wants to like sit and have time to think. She's not like gonna tell you to go away if you approach her or anything, but she just wants to find a spot by herself, essentially, maybe do a little thinking. But if you, again, like I said, if you approach her, she won't like say get lost.
Okay.
It's not her way.
I'll just keep you silent company then.
All right. So you two are out under the stars. Artemis, easily enough. You guys aren't given separate rooms like you were when you initially stayed here, because of the refugees and stuff like that. But you have sort of two room. Well, Orianna has her own room, but they kept two rooms separate for you guys, for the women and the men of your group.
Zavrin, can I bunk with you? Is that all right?
Yeah, of course. And if I'm strangling you, just wake me up.
Well,
no.
Maybe I'll go to sleep after you go to sleep, if that's okay with you. So I'll lay in bed and I'm gonna think to Avandra, and I'll say, well, I'll think in my mind, Avandra, I thank you for the information regarding the Strings of Destiny. I no longer ask of your guidance. You've helped enough. I just want to let you know that members of the group are being pulled in a lot of different directions. I'm trying to make sense of it. I listen to them, and one wants to be free of laws. Another fights for vengeance and protection of her people. Another directions and doubts his mind despite a lot to offer our group. And another has a sick father and yet follows a path directed for others and helps despite his illness. I can't make much sense of it, and I just want one path, just one direction to go. I find that they're pulling me away from a connection to these people. I just don't know what to think. I'll kind of come out of it and then look over to Zavrin. Zavrin, you've got these abilities. You do things where you cast a spell and it goes in two directions, but with only one spell at once. And sometimes you don't even say anything and a spell happens. If I could learn that from you, I'd be much obliged. If you could teach me these ways of splitting a spell or casting it without anybody knowing. Can you show me and let me practice?
It's probably not best to do in here. Maybe outside in the courtyard.
Yes, not right now if you need, but I just want to find his abilities. It's very impressive, and I look up to you to find these magical abilities.
Sure, that would help me, I'm sure, as well. It's all about just feeling it out, just feeling it out.
Yes, you've mentioned you have your feelings inside as well, and now you're saying you feel them out too. All right.
Yeah, but we can practice outside sometime.
Much obliged. How are you doing with this kind of venture? I may have been a little bit harsh with you, the being in jail and all, and I know you're just trying to get what we need.
Yes, but I need to be better about how we approach these things, because that was much more wasted time and wasted funds than we should have had to do.
You know, if you have these ideas, I'd be happy to lend assistance. I mean, if you were gonna do something with Navari and didn't want everyone to know, but wanted some guidance, I could, bond you two together and you could work together as a team. Just, I want to help, or I could give you some advantage on certain abilities that you might need while you're going on your trek. I really want to help.
Probably wise to have us have a intermediary between the two of us for our ideas.
Yes. Just next time, if you would, let us know and let the group know what you plan to do.
Fair.
I thank you.
Right. You guys get ready for sleep and lay down, and Artemis, as you're kind of getting ready to go to sleep, you just, the windows are open in the estate to let the breezes in, given, the number of people that are staying within the manor, and to keep the airflow moving through. And you feel just like a light breeze, and you just hear, "That's the fun thing about life, Joyce. Can be confusing. It's free." Anyone else doing anything?
I at some point would have left Wrena alone to process whatever with her feelings with Cal, and I'm gonna try to get a feel of how to use Steps of Night. Just try to actually get used to flying through the air.
I mean, it's fairly dim light around the estate. Like, there are lanterns lit, and then there are guards and everything like that, but easily enough once it's dark to find spaces and cast it. Initially, some of the guards kind of look at you as you start to float up, but they recognize who you are, and they're like, "Neat trick."
Thanks, I just thought that I can do this. Let's hope I don't fall on my ass at 30 feet from the air.
Yeah, I'm not catching you. And it continues.
Oh, come on.
Continues walking along.
Okay, and I'll just get used to the feeling of not being tied to this mortal plane. No, I'm just kidding. See if I can get used to using it more often.
Yeah, it's interesting. As you channel this ability, it's interesting because it's not flying. It's not you thinking where you need to go and you going there. It's as if the shadows of the night are coalescing under your feet and providing you surface to walk upon.
Ooh, okay.
and it takes you a little bit to get used to that, because your brain doesn't connect with the fact that your foot isn't actually stepping on something solid, but something feels solid underneath it with a little give, as if you're stepping on sort of like a softer surface. And so you practice taking time to like understand how to walk on it, run on it, move on it in order to be malleable to fight. But you take the period of time to learn.
And that's exactly what I had in mind. I was going to describe it, but you did it. Okay, cool.
Sorry,
Thank you.
I stole that from you.
No. You did it way better than what I was going to say. I was going to say word vomit. Cool.
Okay. Cool. Anyone else doing
Zavern
anything
will
before they?
Store a spell. It's just to store some spells for the next day of
What are you
pew-pewing
storing?
monsters. Let's do a banishment because we're probably fighting things that can be banished
Okay, at 4th level.
at 4th level, and then a fairy fire.
All right. Cool.
He'll use them tomorrow.
All right.
Wrena is going to find a quiet place where she has a clear view of the sky, and she can see up and see the stars and things. And she's going to kind of sit down and kind of pull out her father's figurine, holding that. And as she's holding it, she's just going to begin kind of talking to her father, even though she doesn't even know if she's going to hear. But she'll say, I don't know what to do about this. Cal's so close and yet very far. Connie could just be here as well. I don't know if he is still one of the people. I haven't seen him. I can't confirm, but I hope that you will show me whether or not he can be saved. And if he can't, give me the strength to do what it takes. If I have to forgive him, give me the strength to forgive. But if you want vengeance, give me the strength to fight. If you want me to just forgive and move on, help me forget. And then she'll just go to sleep.
Okay. Anything for anyone else? All right.
I don't want to eat up more time talking to Ayun.
Oh yeah, no. If you have something, sure, go.
Just to start initial talks. Zavern will sit in bed, I guess, and just say it in his head, but not inwardly like he did last time to the voice. He'll try to say it just in his head. Yes. Hello, Ayun. Yeah. This is Zavern. Well, I'm first time prayer, long time, I'm not sure, but mistress of knowledge. He opens his book just to double check his notes. Prophet of time, all-seeing eye, that should do the trick. Yes, well, I have knowledge that I would wish to attain, and in service to you, and I would hope that my service can be useful to you.
Is that it?
That's it. Zavern's awkward about this because he's never done it.
Okay. He says all that, and then heads to sleep.
He'll give it a few minutes. He's not sure, does he get read receipt or?
Yeah. He waits a few minutes. It's fairly quiet.
He'll look over at Artemis. If Artemis is sleeping, he'll be like, "Didn't freaking work." And then he'll go to sleep.
Okay. All right. Wrena, your sleep is restless. Hard to initially find yourself to sleep because your mind is moving a mile a minute. Cal's here. You've been trekking halfway across the realm to try and find him. And now he's here. But you can't get to him. Not easily, anyways. And your brother is with him. Or at least has been seen with him. But again, it's as if you're still 1,000 miles away. And your ask of your father to guide you, you feel yourself on a precipice. And you look over into this sort of like stormy darkness. And you hear from one side, that your left-hand side, you ultimately have to choose. Forgiveness. Destruction. Blood family found family. Your path is your own. Once you choose, guidance can be provided. And then from your right-hand side, another voice. Well, what path will you follow? Are you going to fight for your people? Or your friends? Guess we'll see. And when you turn to look on either side, nothing. Just a quiet rumble. And as you turn to look over the precipice once more, feel a wind blow you off and you fall into that stormy darkness. Zavrin, you find yourself in a strange place. Blackness. Nothingness surrounds you. And then you faintly see this jagged line of purple. And another one. And another. And another. As something stitches itself together in front of you. And it begins to solidify as this large purple alien eye staring at you. And you feel yourself being pulled
He runs.
towards it.
Oh,
Your
no,
body
no, not
won't
again.
your body won't
No.
move. And as you're kind of being sucked towards it, you watch as this streak of blue light flashes down. And you feel yourself still pulled. And you're getting closer and closer. And another streak of blue light. And you watch this strange symbol of an eye appear, a different eye. Like a glyph. As you are sucked towards this creature until you slam sort of into this barrier and you can feel a battle taking place between two powers. And you can feel yourself in the midst before you feel sort of that blue light surround you. You get sucked through and you think, this is it. I'm unable to run. But you watch as you sort of lift your hands and that blue light sort of coats your arm and your hand. You just see motes of blue light in front of you. And sort of this white, cloudy landscape in front of you. Calming. You feel a whisper at the back of your mind. A language you don't understand. But you do. This guttural language that you've never studied. And you hear you are mine. The collective will have you. This is but an insignificant blot on your future. Before those whispers fade, and you are left staring at that landscape as it fades too. This vision fades with it. And that is where we'll take our break for the night. We will be back very, very shortly. We'll just get a drink, use the restroom, stretch our legs, and we won't be too long before we're back and finishing up what this group decides to do next. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We will be back momentarily. See you in a few. All right, we back. So, oop, let me get the music back on. All right, so you all eventually wake up, rested in the morning, ready to face another day in Riverend. So, what would
Davin.
y'all like to do?
Zavin waking up with a gasp. Looks around, sees Artemis laying there. He'll run over to Artemis. Wake up! Artemis, wake up! Wake up!
You didn't actually kill me. I'm fine. What do you know?
it worked. I talked to Ayun. I probably need to work on my prayer skills, so I would like some tutelage from you on that. Beseeched her, made myself a follower. I think do I get that title now? And then, but nothing. And then when I went to sleep, there was a vision in my head of darkness, and then the purple eye that I've seen before was pulling me in. I screamed, no, please don't, no, but I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. And then out of nowhere, these beams of blue light just pounding down, and just pounding on the pillows next to your head, pounding down, breaking me free from the purple shackles slowly as it continued to pull me in. The blue lights forming a barrier there, and long story short, I think Ayun protected me.
That sounds like it to me. Yeah, you've got something on your side. There's one part of you that's wanting to do some bad, and another part that's trying to take you from it.
It feels good.
There is good in you, Zavrin. There is a lot of good in you. I've seen it.
Yeah, I'll definitely need to talk to you later about how to address a supreme deity.
Don't doubt yourself. You're getting somewhere now, and I haven't given you any guidance.
Oh, guidance couldn't hurt. I'll trade you for the magic stuff.
Sounds very well. Yeah, if we get a chance to practice some of that spell slinging.
But if you want to come slay some creatures of night, well, you're also welcome to join Navari and I.
Or perhaps under the city. We'll see where we get today.
Oh, that thing too, yeah. Right. Whew. Feeling good.
Should we chat with the others and tell them too?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys start to head down to get some breakfast. The rest of you convene. Breakfast, Orianna?
Orianna just casually kind of stretches all Disney princess like in her big old bed and silk. No, I'm just kidding. Orianna will get dressed in her Atrillin clothing and then head down for breakfast.
On
Wrena-
your way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You can do this.
Orianna, on your way heading for breakfast, your head chamberlain of the house sees you and Orianna, have you seen Madam Scarlet?
No. Did she have a performance last night?
She did, yes, of course. I mean, she has a performance almost every night, especially given the goings on in the city lately. But usually she's back once the performance is finished. But last night she didn't check in with me. She usually does, but I have not heard from her. I figured maybe she was tired, and there's so much going on in the estate that perhaps she spoke with you instead, given that you're just staying here. She will do that sometimes if she's with your father or I figured her daughter. So have you spoken with her? Do you know where I might find her?
No, I have not spoken to her recently, but sorry, just give me one moment. And then I will immediately pull the copper wire out of my hair and... Mama? Are you alright? Is everything fine? Sounds like you didn't make it home last night. I'm just checking on you.
Casting sending?
Yep.
Message goes through. No response.
Okay.
Like you
no
feel it go. You feel it go through. Something's on
no
the other side,
response.
but no response.
No response comes back. Okay. That's unsettling.
Okay. Well, I'm sure this is probably nothing, but I will keep my eyes and ears out for her, and if you hear from her, please let someone in the estate know. Otherwise, I will keep business running as usual.
Yes. I will let you know.
Of course. If you'll excuse me, so much to do with all the refugees and everything like that.
Yes. Don't let me keep you. And I'm going to very quickly make my way downstairs to where everybody else is, or at least where everybody else will be.
All right. You head down. Sorry, Wrena, you were saying something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, Rena's probably outside somewhere in like the yard, like just practicing with her sword and stuff to clear her head because she's still kind of.
Okay. Are you
Not
gonna stay
herself.
there, or are you gonna come in and grab breakfast?
She's going to at least spend some time doing that. So when she comes in, she's gonna be like looking a little rough.
Okay, that's fine. Navari, you wake up in the tavern that you stayed in. Is there anything specific you would like to do?
Vari has work to get done before she starts her community service, so I think she's like up uncharacteristically early, considering she wasn't like her intent the night before was to get drunk, and starts to like head back down to where she met that street rat.
Okay.
And I think she's gonna like, she sighs because she really doesn't want to talk to people, but she thinks about the party that she's with, and then chooses Artemis and Rocky Talkie's Artemis en route. If Artemis is awake,
Okay.
could be not.
No. Yeah, Artemis, you'll hear a beep, 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 beep.
Oh, I gotta call. I'll find out what this is. And I'll pull it out. I assume other people are around me, and I'll just hit the button. Hello?
You see Navari pop up, and similar Navari, you see Artemis pop up on your side.
We
I'm
got
probably
Navari.
walking. All right, you lot. Tell me everything, all the information I need to know about this Strings of Destiny.
Orianna and Nemeron, come quick. I think we heard that they can give us power and that they were used by someone a while ago. I don't have the notes in front of me. Does anyone recall?
I just like, can I see the photo? Can I see the thing? Okay.
Yeah. So it goes to it gets passed off to Nemeron, and now you see like Nemeron's face and body there.
Okay. So, number one, they were used by a wandering traveler who made a sort of utopia 1,000 years ago. So that's great. Time is against us. They're somewhere underneath the city. We just don't know where. We're trying to narrow that down. And they're specific. You have to put them on an instrument specifically. Like you can't. They're not like shoelaces. You have to put them on a thing and strum and pew.
So they're actual strings. We're not looking for like a
They're
banjo
actual-
or a lute or something.
If you put them on a banjo, sure, but they're the actual things. The actual strings themselves. Like I said, 1,000 years. That's me off the top of my head. I don't really. Hold on. Yeah,
All
the
right.
entertainer. Yeah, that was 1,000 years ago. So.
All right, well, that's not a lot to go on, but hopefully
No.
it's enough to give my contact a little bit of direction.
Orianna
Oh.
probably runs in at this point.
Mhm.
What, we're on a call? What's going on?
Navari wants to know about the Strings of Destiny. What else we found out? And I
Oh,
told her what the library told me.
If they can search around Dragonstone Citadel, underground near Dragonstone Citadel.
No, that's a location I didn't have.
Well, that's more information that I had then. That's even better. Great. And I think like she's still salty, so she's just gonna turn the Rocky Talkie off without the goodbye.
Okay. Turn on the image goes.
Expected.
And you continue heading in your direction. What are the rest of you doing?
My mother might be missing.
What? Why? How?
Didn't come home last night after her performance. And when I just tried to sending her not that long ago, I felt it go through, but no response. And she wouldn't not respond to me. That's not... Something must be either blocking her or preventing her or...
She's not answering just of her own will, maybe? I know she said she wouldn't, but...
No, she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't just disappear after one of her performances, not come home and not respond to me when I'm asking, like, hey, you didn't come home last night, Mom. Is everything all right?
Do you know where her performance was last night?
I would assume it's where she's been performing every night because she
Yeah, the
performs
opera
at the
house.
same place. Yeah, at the opera house. Zavrin, I know you. She's very quickly gonna just rummage around in the bag of holding and pull out the rest of the gold, the 2,500 gold. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I need to go there. I need to find out what I can find out.
Wait! Don't go alone. Don't go alone. We'll go with you. It's okay.
If that's fine. But we need to get going now. I don't want to. This is my mom. I'm not.
I start heading off towards the opera house without her. It's like, no, this is important. Like, come on.
Zavrin, I'm really sorry to pass this off on you,
please.
but
You'll find your mother.
yes, and she's just gonna like just start bolting for the door.
Okay. What is
I'm gonna
where's
follow,
our?
if
Yeah,
I
you're
can.
okay. So, yeah,
I
Artemis,
only have a
Nemeron.
25 movement speed, so I don't
Yeah,
think
I know,
can
but
keep up
easily
with-
enough. Like they're not gonna just leave you behind if they notice you. Rena, you see.
One of them's flying. What the hell?
Rena,
No,
you
I can only
see.
fly during nighttime.
You know, as you're finally like finished your sort of practicing, and as you're kind of like coming up to the door, you just see the doors like blast open, with Nemeron, Orianna, and Artemis just beelining it out.
Mama is missing. We have to, or at least I think she is. I don't know. It's complicated. Just follow, please.
Oh, so you can run off immediately when it's your family that is missing. I say how it is. And she's still gonna follow you. She'll sheath her blade and just be like, I could use a little more exercise this morning, I guess. And just runs.
Okay.
We need to let Navari where we're going. Oh, well, no, she can do her own thing, I guess. Right? Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Navari, so Zavrin, you're gonna like finish your breakfast and head off towards the guard, the central guard station.
Yeah, I'll bring a few rolls or something for Navari as well.
Okay. Navari, you eventually make it to the area you were at before. You're very early, so go ahead and make a perception check.
Well, I mean, okay.
Okay. You look around the area and try to locate with a natural one. You try to locate that young girl that you had spoken to the other day, but you wander around for a little while and are unable to catch sight of her. Maybe she's not around yet. You did agree to a time that was a bit later in the afternoon. Not later in the afternoon, but later, more towards noontime. when you originally met with her.
Yeah, so it's probably somebody else who's going to have to meet her because we have responsibilities. So I'm going to go to the alley that we. This is sort of like a market area, right?
Yeah, it's like a lower end sort of market area, like more of like the working man market kind of thing.
I'm gonna walk up to. Is there just like a general tinker's booth, like general supplies?
Yeah, of course.
I'll walk up and say parchment and some charcoal. Do you have any?
Oh, of course. 2 copper.
All right, I'll drop 2 copper on the table.
All right, they give you like 10. You get like 10 sheets of parchment and two pieces of charcoal.
All right. On the piece of paper, I write down the 3 major points of information that I got. That they are actually strings, like musical strings. They were instrumental in building a nation. Is that what I heard correctly?
They helped guide people to a better life, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. And that they're located near, possibly under the Dragonstone Citadel. And I will fold that up and walk into the alley where I met the girl. Then using my knife, I'll carve some symbols. What would I like? Thieves symbols. Symbols basically saying a message here and a directional arrow, and shove the piece of paper under, like if there's like a ledge or a window ledge or something to kind of.
Okay. Go ahead, just because you probably also want to code the information in, like, thieves can't, so that if someone does find this that isn't your lovely contact, they potentially don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So just go ahead and give me a general be good for this. Like just a general intelligence check.
Okay.
It's not a hard DC. It's just to make sure that you get like the gist of the message.
But I am not rolling well tonight, so we'll see how this goes.
Again, it's not a hard DC. Okay, it literally was a 5, so it's fine.
Okay.
Because thieves can't, you know how to code messages. It was just to make sure that you didn't completely bork it. So with a 6, yep, you managed to write the pieces of information, and then go ahead and just make a stealth check just to make sure that you do the writing in a way that your contact will hopefully find it, but other people won't, and you put it in a place. Yeah, with a 30 stealth, easily enough to find you actually find a place in between, like, there's some of the, like, grout from, like, bricks has sort of worn away, and you're able to sort of roll up the piece of paper and just, like, stick it in where the grout would be, and put your little message there, so that your contact could find it.
All right, I'll slide a single gold piece in before the message and then stuff the message in there.
Okay, sounds good. You do so, and what else do you do?
I've got to, like, unless they tell me something's going on, I got to get to
the guard station?
my station. So I'm gonna start heading towards where refugees are being brought into the city.
You want to head back to where you got charged, right?
Yeah. So head back to the station.
Yeah. So you go back to that central station. Okay. So Zavrin, once you get there, maybe like a minute or two, you kind of like wait for a minute. You see Navari show up, and I assume that both of you head into the station.
Morning,
All right.
sunshine.
Morning.
I got the money. Orianna had a bit of a family emergency.
Oh. Anything I should worry about?
Mother's gone missing.
Okay. That does sound like something we should worry about.
You think she'd want us to report it to the police?
I mean, we'd be in the right place.
Right. I mean, she wouldn't have to do the hairpin thing. We would just be helping.
I guess we'll go inside and see how far our word takes us on this.
Yeah.
Okay. You head inside, and I assume you ask for Xavier.
Yeah.
Drop the money on the.
Eventu- Yeah, eventually he comes out. You place the money, and he says, yes. I got word that you would be more useful helping with our city defense and bringing people in safely to our gates. So, we will have to modify your trackers just a little bit, since you will be going out of the city. But this is a good use of help. We can always use more people who are willing to help those in need to be safe when they travel. So, give me a moment, and he takes the money, takes it into the back office, brings
It's
out
all in copper.
brings out another guard who bends down over your like the ankle bracelets and does a little bit of tweaking before giving a nod to Xavier, and he says, all right, so I believe it was 3 days of community service. You are expected at the south gates as soon as possible, so I would hope you show up. They will report back to me and let me know if you have disappeared on your duties. So I suggest you get there within the hour.
Of course. We also have something to report, strangely enough.
We're trying to get the
is it?
gold!
They already gave the gold.
In copper.
Oh, okay.
I told him it was
Yeah.
in copper, but it's in
Oh, that was the joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Something that I believe Zafford would like to tell you.
We were at the Scarlet Estate this morning, and Orianna's mother is apparently never came back from the opera house last night, which is very out of place for her. The rest of our lovely band of friends have gone to search for her, but I figured it's like a police thing that you guys do, investigate.
Yes, of course we do. She had a performance last night. It is only a few hours past being at the performance late, and when she would normally get home. If this is a concern, we will look into it once a little more time has passed, given it's only the next morning and it's hard to go after a missing persons report if they've only been gone less than 8 hours. But I will take your concern into consideration, and if nothing from your friends has been found later in the day, we are happy to look into any leads that there might be, go to the Upper House and help. It is also out of my jurisdiction, as the Upper House is closer to another station, but I can send word over there to look into things if nothing has turned up by this afternoon.
Look, I know I'm a bad apple, but Orianna's good people. I know this is a lot to ask, but could you let us know if you hear anything?
Of course, of course. If you come back my way, of course you don't need to come back here as long as you perform your duties. And once you finish your day, you are free to go about your own business until the next day when you are required to be back at your post. But if you come back my way, I am happy to report anything I might be privy to.
All right.
Well, we are off to lay down our lives in defending of the city, people.
I hope that you stay safe, for your sake and the sake of the people that you will be protecting. Please, do not do anything foolish. Just look after yourselves and the people who are trying to make their way in this new, strange world.
Way more fun than libraries.
Sure. And he just turns and heads back into his office and leaves you two to go about your business. So I assume you're heading to the south gate?
Making our way downtown.
Okay. So you guys head off to perform your community service as guards of merchant caravans and refugee troops. The rest of you.
Oh, I'll
You
burn
rush.
my banishment and fairy fire while we're doing it.
Okay, sure, you can just burn those, no problem. The rest of you rush off to the opera house. And you get there, and it is you get to those large doors, the gilded gold sort of gilded gold wooden doors that open up into that foyer that you remember visiting, those plush carpets and the chandeliers and everything like that. The doors are closed right now, and there are 2 guards posted on either side of the doors, just keeping watch. But you make your way sort of up the steps, and the 2 guards kind of like look at you. Halt? Who is there?
Orianna Scarlet. I'm looking for my mother Helena. She would have performed here last night.
Of course, we know. We know Miss Scarlet. Is there an issue? She is not here. Performances are over until this evening.
Well, she never came home last night.
Oh, that is strange. But perhaps she is overworked these days. It is possible she fell asleep in her dressing room. It is quite comfortable, I've heard. You are welcome to head inside and take a look.
Thank you.
They nod, and the one opens the door and just says, please do not make a mess. The curator is in. If you need to speak with him, probably in his office. But otherwise, feel free to look for her.
Okay, I will run straight to the dressing room.
We're
DM.
moving, I'm going to tell Orianna. Orianna, if we can recall a particular item that she might have on her, I could search for it whenever you'd like me. It's only a 2nd level spell. I can try to locate her within 1,000 feet.
Maybe let's just check the dressing room first. Maybe perhaps she is just asleep. That was explaining why she couldn't respond. She was asleep. Yeah. And Oriana's just darting. Just
Okay, so you run, and you have to actually run through the main sort of stage area around to the back. as you sort of get towards as you sort of like run, anyone who wants to can go ahead and make a perception check for me.
You know what? I'm not gonna have Orianna do it because she's kind of got a one-track mind right now. She's not paying attention to her surroundings.
Okay. Are the rest of you like just rushing after Orianna as well?
I just want to I want to follow behind, not like run straight after them, but like stay a little bit behind them, just like looking at around the main orchestra hall, I guess I'll call it.
Okay.
And the stage as she goes.
Okay. So as you kind of stay behind, you take a moment, but they continue running back into the dressing room. You don't notice anything in the main orchestra hall. And then as you get into the actual theater area, again, like around the seats and everything like that, everything seems normal. But as you like step up the side of the stage to head back behind it, which is where like, you know, all of the backstage stuff happens, and then behind that is where like the halls where the dressing rooms are.
Mhm.
You take a moment, and something catches in your nose. It's hard to figure out at first, and you can't place it. But as you take sort of a moment to sort of walk around the stage itself, you get to a certain area, and sort of like more in like the central area of the stage, there's this distinct smell of salty brine. It's weird. Can't place it, but that's what you smell, and that
Okay.
just yeah. But other than that, you don't see anything, you don't notice anything else, you just smell that. And it's
the floor is
faint.
not, and like the wooden floor of the stage isn't like soggy or like soft. It's okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, the rest of you rush into the dressing room. And as you rush to the dressing room, the door's closed.
I'll just stop at the door very briefly, kind of like try and catch my breath, and then just knock.
No answer.
Mama? And I'll try the handle.
You try the handle, and it opens up. It's not locked. You open it up, and it's a plush dressing room for a star of the opera.
Where is she? I'll just start looking around the room, just trying to figure out if there's any sort of evidence of if she was even here.
As you step inside, you feel the distinct squish under your feet. The rug is wet.
But why is...
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
25.
With a 25, you notice little bits of seaweed embedded in the carpet.
What? 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 Look around for any other kind of clues.
All right. Go ahead and make
cast...
Oh, go ahead.
Hang on. Yeah, if I'm seeing that we're checking for things, I'm going to use my emboldening bond to add a D4 to ability checks, saving throws, or attack rolls.
All right. So for the next 10 minutes, you have the D4, and I assume you use it on, at this point, like Nemeron comes up.
Yeah, there's only 4 of us.
Yeah, so I assume you don't use it on all of you. Okay.
Yeah.
Orianna, go ahead and make another investigation check.
And as I come up to them, does it smell salty, like salty seawater in this room too?
Yes, you definitely smell it stronger. And you see like the squishing of the carpet. It's not sopping wet, but it's slightly damp.
Okay.
Okay, with a 30.
So 34 total.
34. Okay, with a 34, you start looking around, and you don't really see anything out of place. You don't see signs of struggle. You don't see blood. You don't see anything, like torn clothing or anything like that. But you do see on the dressing table, you do see various bouquets of flowers and things like that addressed to her from other cast members, from the stagehands. But one of the things you do notice is you see as you start to go through all of this stuff, you do see a subset of notes. And they're over a period of time. They don't all look like they happened that evening. But you see notes to her that praise her performances. And talk about how wonderful her voice is and what an amazing performer she is. But also, these same notes state that there are others who would like a fair shot at the spotlight. And each of these notes is signed with an R. But that's the only thing amiss, other than the damp rug and the bits of seaweed that you notice.
No. What is going on? What is going on? The notes praising her and the notes saying others deserve a shot are signed by the same person?
it's someone who admires her talent and knows that she is very good at what she does. But there are others that are good too. Why are you the only one that ever gets a chance to perform on that stage?
What is going on?
Should we just, I know they said not to make a mess, but it's already done. Should we just strip the room? See if we can find anything?
I mean, I feel like I've searched the room pretty thoroughly at this point.
Yeah,
Right?
you've looked everywhere that you need to. I will say, with a 34 investigation, you left no stone unturned in terms of, looking under the sofa, looking around chairs, feeling for any secret things or things left behind, looking for any kind of left evidence of anything. But the notes and the carpet and the seaweed are the main things that you notice.
Also, the stage also smelled like the ocean. The stage was also
It
did. It's not as strong as here though. There was no seaweed. There was no sopping wet floor.
Does your mother have any kind of magic like this?
She's also, I suspect that she's also talented with magic like myself. The first time I tried sending to her, and she didn't seem surprised by it or anything, which I didn't notice at first, but then I was kind of like, wait a minute, why wasn't she surprised? So, I didn't know she had this kind of magic, but to be fair, I didn't really understand it that much until after I left home, until after I left Riverin.
Does she ever use any kind of gimmick or anything like that during her performance?
No, she just sings.
And I hate to say it, but this is probably not a good thing.
No, I don't. Orianna's just gonna like rush to the office where the curator is.
Okay. You rush over there, and the door is closed, but the lights are on inside. Coming. Just give me a moment. Hang on. Wasn't expecting anyone. You hear a bit of shuffling, and then the door opens, and you see this older gentleman, human, has kind of like the handlebar-esque mustache, like white hair, dressed nicely in a suit, but kind of a little bit shorter gentleman, maybe around 5'8". But he looks at you and he says, hello, you look familiar.
I'm Helena's daughter.
You're Helena's daughter. Yes. What can I? It's strange for you to be visiting here. What can I do for you? Would you like to come in, please?
Yes, but she never came home last night, and I just went to her dressing room, and it's sopping wet with seaweed and water and.
That is strange. She finished her performance last night. It went off without a hitch, and she was given a standing ovation, and she left to her dressing room, and we all wished her a good evening, and we assumed that she would be heading home as she normally does. That her I haven't seen her since then. It's strange that she didn't make it. Did she have any other appointments? I do know that Mr. Scarlet is in town.
Yes.
Are you sure that she didn't meet up with him somewhere?
I mean, that doesn't explain the salt water and the seaweed in her room.
I mean,
Or her ignoring your message.
Right. I mean, many fans give strange gifts. Something could have spilled in her dressing room, but again, I do not really know why it would be wet. That is very, very strange.
Do you know if anyone in particular has been going to her dressing room after her performances? I have these notes from someone signed R.
There's no one. I mean, obviously cast members have congratulated her or worked on parts of the performance with her. Sometimes the conductor will speak with her to make sure that their timing is correct in the performance at certain points. But no one with an R. I don't think. No, not that I can think of. This is very strange. I'm a bit at a loss. I wish I could tell you, but like I said, she has many adoring fans. She gets a lot of fan letters, and some people will throw bouquets and plants and gifts on stage after a performance. We often have to clean it up and bring it to her dressing room. It's possible this person enjoys your mother's performances.
DM, sorry, DM. Can I just while you guys are while they're having this conversation, can I like walk towards where like the back entrance would be, where like the performers would leave and go home, and just like scope out the outside of the opera house, if that's possible?
Oh yeah, no problem. You walk sort of to the back entrance, like the stage door kind of area, and you look outside. And it's pretty empty here because it's during the day.
Yeah.
You do see like piled against like one of the walls, like barriers. If anyone has ever been to like a Broadway performance or whatever, like they set up like these metal barrier kind of things so that they can come out and sign things or whatever for fans before they head off to wherever they need to go for dinner or to home or whatever. You see those are piled up against one of the walls.
Okay.
But other than that, it's pretty empty out here right now because it's kind of dead. So you do see
Okay.
a few people like walking by just generally. You see like some horses going by, and you see some like vehicles like driving on some of the streets, but
There's no like footsteps, no like puddles of water, no seaweed lying around.
go ahead and make an investigation for me.
Okay. Natural 20.
Yeah, so with a 27, looking around, you don't see like puddles of water, you don't see seaweed, and you don't smell that briny scent. You smell like city.
Okay. Okay.
You know, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just head back inside then and go back to wherever, to the office.
I will say as you head towards the office, you do notice the door to the pit, which is where the orchestra and the band sort of plays, and you notice that goes kind of like under the stage.
I'll head down there then.
Okay.
Is anyone
as you-
following you, Nemron?
No, I just left without a word.
Okay.
Yeah, so you open the door, and you notice that there is the sort of the general entrance over to the pit to go like just slightly under the stage, and then come out the other side where sort of the orchestra will kind of like be seen and the conductor will be seen. But there's a separate area with stairs downwards to sort of beneath the stage as well.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Sending and send it to. I'll go and send it to Artemis, to Artie. Beneath, I'm gonna say beneath the stage, door to the pit has a separate door leading away. Gonna go check it out.
I pull out my communicator and I call him.
Oh, that's right. We have that.
What do you need?
Oh no, this is supposed to be quiet. Okay, cool. Come to the stage. There's a fun little. There may be something interesting. I'm gonna go be nosy and check it out.
All right, I'll tell Orianna and Wrena to come with. Is that okay?
I mean, the rest of you are right there when this
you
pops up on the screen. So
probably. I don't know what's down here. Maybe for the better if there's more of us.
All right, here we come.
And they see me like on the communicator. They see me opening the door or testing the doorknob.
The door opens as you like turn off the communicator, and you begin heading down the steps, and you see beneath the stage it's an area like filled with like boxes and sandbags and old instruments. But go ahead and make a perception check as you kind of like stand in the dark, kind of like looking around.
Perception. Ooh, that's bad. 12.
You listen. And it takes a moment. And you kind of hear the like of like just your heart beating in
my
your
ears.
ears. And you start to hear footsteps as the others are starting. I assume the rest of you, once this message comes, start to head off. As you can kind of hear the others. Just on the edge of your hearing, when it's so quiet, where you hear the sound of lapping water.
I will start digging through these boxes. If there's a door, not a latch, a hatch, sorry, anything leading down or away from the stage.
Go ahead and make an investigation for me.
Okay. No, natural 20.
All right. With a natural 20, you let me just do this. Okay, so
I'm starting to sweat.
With a natural
You're
20,
starting to sweat.
the rest of you start rushing down the stairs, and you see Nemeron like pushing boxes out of the way and moving things around. Nemeron.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry.
They just hear me muttering to myself. There's water somewhere. There's water somewhere.
Yeah.
As I'm like digging through the things.
As you like are moving things, you notice 3 things.
Okay.
You notice a bunch. So this is like a stone floor.
Okay.
On the floor, you notice that there are a bunch of these stone tiles that have arrows on them. Strange. And you look at them, and you kind of put your hand on them, and you twist, and you can feel that the arrows can move in 45-degree increments. Strange.
Is he another dang puzzle?
You
Probably.
notice also markings on the far wall. And as you head over there, you can tell that they are shapes. And they are in a specific configuration. And I will show it to you in a second. And you also notice that there is a brick on the wall that can be pressed. And you test it. And when you press it, you watch as these lights, these magical beams, light up that connect the arrows that are pointing at one another, to each other. And I will show you what you see.
Okay.
You should all be able to see that. And you should all be able to move the arrows. And let me show you the wall.
Oh, sorry, I was just testing if I can move the arrow. Sorry.
Yeah, you can
Okay.
move them as much as you want. That's the configuration you see.
Okay.
On the wall, that's the marking.
Can the boxes be moved?
And I will say, like, when you initially press that brick, like with this configuration, like I'll just like you would get like a. You would get like a beam like that.
Oh, okay.
And then you would get like a beam like that.
Just from those 2 boxes specifically?
You would get No, from these arrows, you would
The
get
arrows.
like a from this one, you would get like a beam that.
Okay.
Or are they actually giving off specific colors too?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh no.
But that is what you see as you press this brick, and the rest of you see this. Notice these configurations on the floor, and hear Nemeron muttering about water. You are left standing in this room. Oh, and I'll pull your tokens on, so that you're just in here at least. So it's Wrena, Orianna, Nemeron. And Nemeron, you're probably like, I think I said it was on the far wall. It's like,
Right here.
no, hang on.
Oh.
It's like over here. So, actually no, it wouldn't be over there. Where did I put it? Sorry, yeah, over like here.
Oh, okay.
And the other person is Artemis. So yeah, you guys are, as you step into this room, see Nemeron kind of like fooling around, press this brick, and you watch as these things like light up, and eventually you make your way over to look and see this configuration of markings on the wall and this brick, and are left reeling, wondering where the heck Helena Scarlet might be. That is where we're going to end today's session.
Okay.
Ta-da.
So,
Oh no, bro. Oh no, bro.
Oh, no, DM, no. Bad.
Oh no.
yeah.
One time I leave living parents.
Yeah.
Not for long.
So yeah, you get to pick up figuring this out, and we'll see what happens. But thank you everyone for hanging out with us and sticking around. We appreciate you all joining us and watching this craziness unfold. If you like our stream, please share with your fellow D&D or TTRPG lovers. The best way to help a stream grow is to spread the word. And remember, folks, it is nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Have a great Friday. Make good choices. And we hope to see you back here next week. See you later. Have a great night.
Happy Pride.
That's true. Happy Pride. Just started.
Oh, true. It's Pride Month.